Good evening, friends. Hope you're well. Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat 84 here, coming to you all the way from London town. Here in the UK, it's Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock. Where else would you be? It's the best live chat on YouTube. So, hope you're all safe and well. Hope your bass playing's going well. Hope you've had a very safe and okay week after last week. And you're very welcome if you're a bass player, or even if you're not, you're very welcome to Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat. So come on in. We're talking bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, great bass players, albums that have got great bass players on. If you've got any problems or gear trouble, or you're looking for some buying advice, maybe you're looking to buy a new bass, new amp, new pedal, maybe you want to try some new sets of strings, ask me questions. Leave me comments. If I can help, I'm more than happy to do so. It's what I'm here for. If I don't know the answers, the fine, learned people that we have here on Brooksy's Bass Corner live chats every week, between one of us will know the answer. So if you've got any gear trouble, maybe your amp's playing up, maybe your bass isn't playing ball, maybe you've got pickup problems, maybe your bridge is having a bit of a paddy. If you need some advice, need some help, leave us a comment or a question, and as soon as I see it pop up here in the live chat, I'll let you know. I'll try and answer your questions best I can. Good to see Westfort. Welcome. Good to see you. I'm good, thank you. Doing okay. Not too bad. Here in London town, we've got balmy temperatures approaching. So we're going to be in the high teens, low 20s next couple of days. So it's going to be entertaining considering it's the middle of October. And trying to think what we've been doing since last week. So saw you on the live chat last week. The Wilcock H22 bass demo went up. A bunch of short remixes from that as well here on the YouTube channel. I had an Uncle Funk show on Friday in Whittam, which is sort of Essex, Cambridgeshire borders. We were playing at Whittam Public Hall. Had a great show. Footage looked fabulous. Had a really good time. So if you were there at the Whittam show, chances are no one from the show will be here on my bass chat, but you never know. We had an absolute blast. Gig was flying. So thank you very much if you were there for making it a real party night. It was great. We had a great time. This week, no gigs whatsoever. We're in that time of year where kind of gigs sort of thin out a little. So if anyone needs a bass step, I'm here, based in West London. Happy to travel. So if you need bass cover, if you've broken your leg, or maybe you might have COVID and you're thinking, how am I going to cover my gig this week? If you need me, give me a shout. So I don't have any gigs this week, but I do have the Uncle Funk Decades of Dance dress rehearsal this week. So it's a new theatre show that I'm doing with Uncle Funk. So we do the regular disco show, of course. We've now got a dance music through the decades show. So first show is a week on Saturday. Dress rehearsal is this Sunday. So all the effects and the lights and the PA and everything, all the costumes, everything gets a dry run this week. So that's kind of what I'm gearing my week up for at the moment. So we were planning tonight to go through my pedal board, how it's going to be for this show. Unfortunately, there's so much going on in my life at the moment. My mother-in-law is still in hospital, very seriously ill, and we don't know which way that's going to go at the moment. So between that, keeping the house running, keeping the dogs looked after, doing the gigs, trying to get videos edited and uploaded for you guys, it's proving a little difficult to sit here with a bunch of pedals and get my pedal board sorted. So anyone that was on last week's live chat, you know, I did a rehearsal a week and a half ago with what I thought was going to be my pedal board, and it was too many pedals. So a couple of those pedals have now got to come off. So I would suggest, because I can't do it this week, next week I will have done the dress rehearsal and we'll be leading up to the first show. So my pedal board will kind of be solidified after Sunday's rehearsal. So what I suggest is next week's live chat, I will set up slightly differently. I won't be doing the standing up thing. Maybe we'll sit down, hook up to an amp, have the pedals, try and give you guys some demonstration of the pedals. But as we found out previously, trying to get the bass sound, whether it's through an amp or through the sound card audio interface. We get this weird sort of squishing effect, and the bass drops in and out, and it doesn't sound that hot, but we'll try our best. So I'll be able to plug into each pedal, and you can hear what's going on, what songs I'm using each pedal for, and we'll roll through it that way. So this time next week, we'll be looking at that bass pedal board. I can see people flying in. Steffi from Germany, good to see you. Hope those bass lessons are going good. Visog, evening all, good to see you. Bass clef connoisseur, welcome back. You were here on last week's live chat, I think. Greetings from Wisconsin, USA. Well, greetings from London to you too. I hope your week's been good. Hope your bass playing's going mighty fine. And come on in, you're very welcome. 2 weeks on the trot, you'll be getting loyalty points soon. I'll have to work out some system for that. I keep getting approaches from YouTube to do the membership thing, and this was something we talked about a year and a half ago, but I've never been able to kind of sit down and nail the sort of content I could offer in terms of membership, because basically what I film, you guys get anyway. I don't feel like I could charge you extra for stuff that some people get and some people don't. Kev Allen, good to see you too. Welcome. Come on in. So I've kind of steered away from the whole membership thing for the time being. It might well be further down the line. Maybe I'll do something a bit more gig oriented. So sort of the gig day experience, might roll that out as a membership thing. If I get back into doing interviews regularly, then that could also be a membership thing. My only concern with interviews is they don't tend to generate a lot of views. They tend to sort of sit there and sort of tick over very slowly. So whereas with reviews and demos, that's search-based content. So that gets searched for. So people looking for a Dingwall NG2 demo, or straight off the bat, a Kubicki demo or a review, those sort of things get searched for within YouTube, and so those videos do a lot better. And that's kind of what I've got to do at the moment to sort of get the channel to motor. So the interview thing, I could come back to that at a later date. Bass clef connoisseur, cheers mate, thank you. So here we are, live chat 84, Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock, coming to you from London town here in the UK. So tonight's topic of conversation, if I may be so bold, if you've come in from YouTube, obviously you're watching on YouTube, but if you've come in directly from the video through browse or through the main page. So tonight's topic of conversation, what are your bass goals? What are you guys individually trying to do with your bass playing? Where do you want to get to? What was your sort of point of focus when you first took up bass? What were you trying to do? Is it a hobby thing, so you play at home? Is it a thing that you want to go out and play with your friends in bands, do gigs? Maybe you want to earn a living from it. Some people do, some people don't. Some people have their day job, and playing at the weekend is a bit on the side, some extra beer tokens, if you will. So let me know. Let's know what are your bass goals? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to get to? What do you want to do in the next 5 to 10 years with your bass playing? Do you want to become completely professional, 100% earning your living from playing bass? Maybe you don't. Maybe you quite like having the safety net of a regular job and just playing for enjoyment, playing for a hobby, playing at home. Nothing wrong with that, of course. So let us know, what are your bass goals? Of course, we're here on StreamYard platform. So if you want to join in the live chat by video, you can. As you'll see at the bottom of the screen, there's a ticker running along the bottom. Email me, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite and you come through live here on the video chat. So at the moment, we haven't got Jamie Millard from the US like we had last week. Big shout out to Jamie if you're watching or if you're tuning in after the event. Thank you so much for your time last week. Really appreciated it. Made the live chat something different. Russell Zorner, good to see you from Oregon. Hope you're well. Keep those questions flying in, Russell. You kept the live chat ticking over last week, so that was very good of you. Thank you. So yeah, what are your bass goals? What are you trying to achieve with playing bass? What do you want to do long term? Maybe it's a short term thing. Let me know. Kev Allen, for me, it's a hobby thing. In fact, I found now I can post your responses on the screen. I completely forgot that was an option. So here, it's there for you all to see in case you're not looking at the live chat window. For me, it's a hobby thing, but I wanted to be a rock god when I was younger. Likewise, now I'm retired. I'd just like the opportunity to play live with others, even in the lounge. Good for you, Kev. Thank you for playing. Thank you for the first response on that note. Very good of you. So, like I say, if you want to join in the live chat by video, you can. You don't have to, but you can. You just email me on the email address in that ticker, brooksysbasecorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, and basically brings you here into the green room. And then I can add you to the live chat. Oh, now the messages are flying in. Westfort, it is my dream to be a professional. Believe me, it's not all it's cracked up to be from time to time. Sometimes it's great and sometimes it isn't. And from someone who's done this for 29 years full time, it does have its ups and it has its downs. It's pretty much like any other job. There's no guarantees ever. But if you're willing to work hard and sort of stick at it and, you know, take as much work as you can, do your very best, sometimes you get rewarded for it. So I can recommend it, but you kind of need to have a bit of grit. You've got to, you know, when times are tough, can you do something to generate income if you need to have money coming in? Are you a good networker? Are you a good communicator? Do you reply to messages and calls and texts and emails rapidly? That's a big thing. You would be amazed how many musicians I deal with, professional musicians as well, not just part-timers, but professional musicians who have profile, who are absolutely useless at communicating and responding to messages, updating their diaries. There's no excuse. Everything you can do on a mobile phone. Some of these people live on their mobile phone, yet they just don't grasp the nettle when it comes to communicating with their bandmates or if they're depping. Anyway, that's out there. Stacey Ann, good to see you. Hobby, something that allows me to decompress. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Patrick Sweeney, good evening, and everyone else. Good to see you, Patrick. I hope everything's good in your world. Bass Clef Connoisseurs voted most likely to be a rock star class of 90. Still working on that. That's all right. That's all right. You know, we all have different kind of levels, different things we want to achieve. That's why I thought I'd ask the question. I'm just interested to know what people think, kind of what people want to do with their bass playing. Russell, I forgot I'm thinking into the chat box, but me, no, I'm in physical rehab for a while longer. That's okay. My goals are to be able to play guitar and bass again as long as I want. Baby steps. You take your time, Russell. Do not rush these things. It's like any other transition too. You're going to have to keep yourself afloat while you build your revenue stream and clients. It is no different to any other business. Just sometimes the hours we habit are slightly different. You know, I can remember a vast number of years in my sort of early to mid career where very often all my gigs I was getting home at 3 or 4 in the morning. Thankfully, it's not the case so much now. A lot of my Uncle Funk, Queen tribute, ABBA tribute work, a lot of that I finish at 10 o'clock. And, you know, we always say on a Saturday, if you're home before match of the day's finished, you've had a result. And I still stand by that. Patrick Sweeney, I've been self-employed my whole life and communication is everything. Couldn't agree more. And yet for some people, they just don't get it. They think, oh, I don't need to get back to someone quickly. I'll just take my time, and then wonder why either they've been glossed over for a gig or a client has gone elsewhere and not booked their band. Seen all of those things happen. It's a strange world out there, but there we are. So yeah, let us know. What are your bass goals? What are you hoping to achieve with your bass play? And also, as I say, you can join in live on the live chat. We can have up to 8 people on the live chat by video. So if you want to join me, maybe one-to-one, or you want to get a whole bunch of us all talking bass all at the same time on different subjects, email brooksysbasecorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an put them in properly. There we go. I'll send you an invite, and then you click the invite, and I will see you here in the green room, and I can add you to the chat. That's how it all works. Westford, I am playing my first big show this July with a rock orchestra and choir. Good for you. Good for you, sir. I'm sure there's going to be a significant amount of rehearsal for that, or are you going in blind? Are you reading that, or are you learning? Are you sight reading the gig? Kevin Allen, if I'm home before match of the day, that's not the result I was hoping for. You've clearly not done enough gigs, Kev. That's for me, it's always, and even now, like we did an Uncle Funk show a couple of weeks ago, we finished at 4:30 in the afternoon, and I didn't have an evening gig, so it was like great. Home before match days even started. But that's all good. Stacey Ann, same here, Patrick, at least for 25 years. Communication is everything with clients. Very much so. Very much so. So if any of you have seen the Wilcock H22 demo I posted up last week, let me just get the video. I'll put it in the chat window. And if you've watched it, liked it, commented on it, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And it's had a good reception. Viv Wilcock was very pleased with it. And I created a bunch of short remixes that are obviously on YouTube Shorts that are taken from the video. So YouTube remix, basically, if you've got a video up on YouTube, you use the remix facility and you can take anything from 15 seconds. No, actually, you can take less than that. Anything from 0 to 60 seconds, create a YouTube short from the footage you already have. So there's a bunch of shorts. You may see them in your feed, you may not. And they're taken from that video. So all the people watching, liking, commenting, subscribing as a result, thank you very much. Subscriber numbers are up, views are up, view duration is up, everything's green. I keep saying it week after week, everything is in green. It just is. But it's the channel just taking baby steps in terms of progress. So I'm very happy with that. So to all the people subscribed in the last week, new subscribers, welcome. Come on in to the channel. We're a very friendly bunch here. So this is live chat 84. Yeah, we've done 84 live chats since December 2020. So if you've been there for the whole duration, thank you very much. If you've donated to the channel in the past week via super thanks, or obviously on the live chats we have super chat, or if you've bought Brooksy's Bass Corner merch, got the cap on, we have 3 significant bass playing birthdays this week. I'm holding this up. This is one of the Brooksy's Bass Corner Bass Legend quote t-shirts, quoted from Mr. Mark King, whose birthday is on Sunday coming. He will be 65 or 66, I think. Let me just check. He will be 66. Who'd have thought? So, Mark, I know you don't watch the channel. He keeps sort of keeps himself well out of the bass world if he's not gigging. But if by any chance you happen to ever watch this video, happy birthday, mate. Hope you have a lovely birthday on Sunday. And I'm sure our paths will cross again at some point. I haven't seen him since now. Let's think. It would have been the Jack Bruce screening, which was, I think, May or June 2018. So we haven't actually crossed paths since then. We stay in touch by WhatsApp now and again. But I haven't actually seen you to say hello in all that time. So have a good birthday. Tomorrow, I think, is Flea's birthday from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So happy birthday to you, sir. And on, is it Thursday or Friday, we have the Quite Fabulous. Where are we? Helps if you expand the diary, Mike. You can see it all then. Pino Palladino on Thursday. So yeah, 3 very notable bass giants all having their birthdays this week. So chaps, I hope you have great time, and I hope you're all in very rude health. West Fort, no, you're rehearsing for that. Very good. West Fort 66, yes, indeed. Russell Zorner, that really sounds like fun. Yeah. Nearer the time, West Fort, let us know more about that. Patrick Sweeney, I'm very happy to say the number of live chats has now exceeded my age. I'm not really that old. No, we're young at heart, Patrick, aren't we? Russell Zorner, I'm not a budget-based guy, but Sire released some Godin-like things, and they seem pretty cool at half the price of a Godin. Yeah, Sire are kind of dominating that end of the market. Unfortunately, some of their product just doesn't get the quality control it should before it leaves the factory, and I keep hearing the same things about the hardware and some of the pickups. Not that hot. A lot of people that buy Sire either replace the hardware or the pickups or both. And yet some Sire stuff is just great. So I haven't done any reviews of any here on the channel. Haven't been sent any. I guess I really need to approach Andertons, and I keep saying it week after week. It's just getting the time to do it. I don't know who my point of contact there would be. We actually tried to do some bass guitar magazine and bass player review days down there before they set up their review channels on YouTube. But that never came to pass, sadly. So yeah, I need to get in touch with them and see if they'll send me some stuff for review. Kyle Kim, sorry, I'm just reading the message. Kyle Kim's a good dude too, also, so that goes a long way towards my perception of Sire. That's cool. That's cool. Like I say, I've not had anything in my hands to review. Bass player and Uncle Funk bought a secondhand Sire jazz bass about 2 years ago, which was good. Good piece of kit. He's very happy with it. West Fort, there was the birthday of late great John Entwistle on 9th of October. Indeed, I think he would have been 80. Am I right? I saw some things pop up online. Russell Zorner, I've started to brag about how old I am. Good for you, Russell. Good for you. So yeah, so here we are. I was in preparation for this. I've had some people say to me who aren't aware of the bass string experiment, of course. You keep banging on about this band Uncle Funk that you play with. And it's like, yeah, it's disco show band. They said, where can we see some videos? So I sent them some YouTube links. So some of you will have seen some of the stuff online. I'm guessing most of you haven't. So I thought I'm not going to turn the volume on. Won't give you the sound, but I can share my screen. You can see. I can basically run a couple of little video bits and bobs. You can see the sort of gigs we do. So just give me 2 seconds and I'll see if you guys can see this. I can't have the sound, unfortunately, because it could lead to a copyright strike, which is not the idea. I think it's there. It's not there. Is it there? It's not there either. I will find this. Just bear with me. So basically, there's some really good footage we had. That's got it. There was some really good footage we had from a couple of shows we did in 2022. So we did this show called Camper Calling. And I just need to work out which clips are good and which ones aren't. So these are snippets that we used for an Uncle Funk demo video. And I also used them in the bass string experiment video for these 2 gigs. So I'll try and find you some bass worthy content. So this guy's we had a cameraman going around getting a load of footage, and then that kind of went into the library for creating demo vids. Right, that one ain't that hot, is it? But I thought I'd let you guys see kind of what we did. Oh, there's a bit. There's a bit. I just thought you might find it interesting. You might not, but you might. So let me make that smaller. and see if we can see if I can show you this. It might work or it might not. Let's hope it does. But what I can't have is the audio. So let me just turn that off. I cannot risk copyright strikes. Now that should play. Now I think you guys tell me if you can see that. I'm presuming you can. Oh, hello. I think you can. So that's a picture of the drummer's wrist, obviously. But this is from a festival we did here in the UK called Camper Calling. Happens every year. It's over the whole weekend. They get some fairly big names. This was on the Friday. And I think they might have done like a starter show on the Thursday evening. But anyway, we were there on the Friday afternoon. And I'd played there with Uncle Funk in 2019, and they played there a couple of times before that. But the loading at the show was horrific, and the traffic on the day was absolutely horrendous. It took me about 4 hours to get there, and I arrived with about 90 minutes before we were due on stage. The rest of the band turned up with about 20 minutes before we were due on. It got a little hairy, put it that way. And thankfully everyone eventually turned up, but the roads, because it was the bank holiday weekend in August, were just horrific, and anything on the M40 was dreadful. So yeah, we got there eventually. I see what's happening. We've got too much stuff going on in the background. Hopefully it'll pan round. A bit of bass action in a minute. We're lucky. But yeah, so I had a couple of people ask about all of this, like, well, let's see some video of the gigs you do. So this is it. But like I say, I can't give you the sound because I'll get hit with copyright issues, and I just don't want to do that. I've seen a lot of stuff on YouTube in the past week of people complaining about stuff being taken down off their channel, some channels being removed because of copyright strikes, copyright claims, and it's something I try to avoid here on the channel. Well, I'm going to move this forward, try and get to some. I thought it was right on the bass stuff, but clearly not. This drummer's having a whale of a time. It's a trumpet player. Of course, she's holding a trumpet mic, gives it away. Ah, you seem to have missed all the bass stuff. Okie dokes. Right, we'll run. I'll come back to which one's got the bass stuff on then? I thought that was it. Ah, here we go. Right. Here you go. Here you go, folks. Me doing my thing. Kind of. Shenanigans that goes on stage, you see. I'll shift this on a bit. Here we go. For the eagle-eyed of you, that's Mr. Bobby Harrison on guitar, stage right, one of Cliff Richard's guitar players, no less. So hopefully in a minute the camera will pan left and you'll see the size of the audience. It's me looking very earnest and concentrating. I think at this point, the connection in my in-ear, in my right one, had come loose. I was running on one earpiece. It kind of throws you a bit because there's no sound on stage. That's me doing my thing. With the Status Graphite Empathy, of course. So this was part of the bass string experiment series. I think this was about gig number 7, maybe. So And then after this gig, I literally threw everything in the car, got back in the car, and then drove all the way from Warwickshire down to Bristol to do a wedding with another band. And so double bubble day that day. Don't worry, the crowd's a little bigger than that. Always like a shot of the Portaloos, of course. And every festival needs them. And yeah, if you're wondering what the funny thing on the back of the headstock is, that's the Dario microtuner. So it connects in via a screw that runs through that and that machine head, and you press the on button and you can tune while you're while you're playing. Sometimes it works better on wooden guitars than graphite, as I've found. I'm going to be taking it off that bass and putting it on something else fairly shortly, because as handy as it is, it just doesn't read that great with graphite in terms of vibration. But here we go. Here we go. Sorry, too many pop-ups flying up from StreamYard here. That's the one we want. So that's the governor doing his thing. Hot-footed it straight from his audition for Chicken Run 3, obviously. Colonel Sanders was following him down the M40. Thought one of the chickens had escaped, but there we go. So this was slap bang in the middle of festival season, of course. Bill Derbyshire, good to see you. Hope you're well. There's messages flying in here. Smart to make the worst part of your bass is the here we go. Russell, but it's smart to make the worst part of your bass is the stuff people upgrade right away. But that we're talking about the size there. Very good. Kevin Allen, yes. Stacy, yeah, can sit. Cool. Joe Goose, good to see you. I love that status headstock shape. Thank you. Looks great from behind. Yes, it does. They got it right first time, pretty much, with that one. So there we are. In all my garb. Now, if the cameraman would just pan around 180 degrees, you'll see the crowd. It's a fair number. I think there were about 5,000 or 6,000 at that point, but by the time they had all their big bands on Saturday and Sunday, there was about, I think, 20,000 maybe. It's a big festival spread over quite a large amount of land. It's at Ragley Hall, which is a stately home up in Warwickshire. Yeah, so hope that's not putting you off your dinner, wherever you may be. If you've got chicken for dinner, I'm really sorry. I'm just trying to see if I can find the bass stuff, because there was a whole big chunk of it. That ain't it. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Right, let's just pause that. We'll go back. So yeah, this is to give you an idea of what we're doing on those big stages. Yeah, sizable. Quite a wide stage. I was playing there this year at the same venue, but it wasn't for Camper Calling. They do something in June for it's like motorbikes and motocross and all of that. And anyway, the Oasis tribute that I occasionally play with were playing there, and they asked me if I'd do the show in the afternoon. So I said, absolutely. Again, big wide stage. It's a bit of a cavern, but it's good. Makes a change from those small, tight stages that you more frequently play. Kevin Allen, tuners, you know my sub bass EO 20 hertz. Do you know a tuner that will actually work below BO? Oh, as in a low B. Don't know. They should all get to they should be able to pick up like a low A. But I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of Boss tuner pedals, but I'm also a big fan of Korg rack mount tuners. I've got about 3 or 4 here. So those are my go-tos. I've never tuned lower than a B. Sorry, Kev. Maybe one of the other fine people here might have a clue on that, if they can help the fine gentleman. Joe Goose, does singing BVs also help you get more gigs? Yeah, yes, it does. And I've always said bass players that can sing, whether it's BVs or lead vocals, you're always going to get far more work. And bass players that do BVs are more likely to get depth work from me. That's a definite thing, because every band I'm ever in, I have to do BVs, and I'm fine, you know, happy to do that. So if a dep can do BVs, quids in. Actually, a lot of the interviews I did when I started doing interviews for the magazine, I would ask the people I was interviewing, you know, how important is it to be able to sing or do BVs? And all of them said the same thing. It's imperative. Unless you're in a band that's got like multiple vocalists already, or like a large group of backing vocalists, if you can sing, that's a big plus. And like I say, it doesn't have to be lead vocals, it can be BVs. You're going to be more inclined to get the gig, get the work, you know. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. StreamYard, you've changed the thing where when you click on an option, it fires up another tab, but it disappears too quick. Please change it. So yeah, BV is very important. Very, very important, especially if you want to do this as a job. It's going to get you far more work. You can't sing to save your life, Joe. Well, that's all right, but you're not trying to be a full-time bass player, so it's probably not such a big requirement. Patrick, am I doing harmonies? I certainly am, Patrick. Yeah. Past 3 or 4 bands I've been in, I do BVs. I had a very good teacher. I used to be in a band with Steve Overland from FM. So I learned everything about backing vocals and harmonies from him. And if I got one nugget of really good advice out of him, and I remember sitting around a pool in Bahrain in 1998, and I said to him, right, how do I do BVs and how do I do harmonies? And his advice was, buy the back catalogue of the Eagles and everything you need is there. And that was it. So when we came back to the UK, I bought the back catalogue of the Eagles and learned how to do backing vocals and harmonies. So it's all there. So there's Mr. Tubbs doing his thing. Bless him. He's a great drummer. Love working with him. Ajit, if you're out there, you won't be watching this. You'll be teaching, which is what he does during the day, during the week. And he's a great drummer to play with. It worries me that he's half my age. But there we go. I've got miles on the clock and he hasn't, but he's doing well. He's doing very well. And he's very musical, a lot of fun to play with, easy to play with, really. And yeah, we have a blast, me and him. West Fort, nice status, thank you. Yep, it's the old girl. Where is she? Oh, there she is in the rack. It'll be that one. LEDs, of course, goes without saying. But this has done thousands of gigs. My tonal battering ram. Quite superb. That's why I bought another one. I've got another one in a case over there in natural finish. So if anything ever happened to that one, I've got basically a direct replica over there. I suspect this might be Boogie Oogie Oogie. I might give you a little sound clip in a second. I think it is. I think. It is. When we get to Boogie Oogie Oogie, I'll let you guys hear the solo part. I'll know it when we get to it. So yeah, sizable audience. They were great. By the end of the set, they were going rather nuts. He obviously wears this this costume to Sainsbury's when he does his shopping on Monday mornings. He gets some right looks. But yeah, happy days. I'll tell you what, I'll forward it. Oh, actually, it might not be on this clip, but it might be. There's Robert. There we go. I can let you hear a bit because there's no direct mix on the stage, which isn't being picked up by the camera. I think this might be the solo. No, it's not. If you're wondering why I'm jigging about, it's because I basically tap the hi-hat eights with my leg rather than just doing 1 2 3 4. I'm doing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It keeps me in time. Like I say. So there we go. That's me doing my thing. Has the status logo worn off the pickups? Yes, it has. It basically just said hyperactive in red. It didn't have the status logo in gold. Oh, there's Mrs. Sax Player. To be seen on Name That Tune on Fox, CBS over in the States. Here we go. Yeah, bass playing impression, of course. He loves it. Does the bass have a logo on the headstock? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Hard to see on here because I've got rotor sounds with red windings, but there is a red status logo in the middle, pretty much. There we go. So anyway, thought I'd give you a little taster of that. After a couple of people asked, I sent them links to the bass string experiment videos, and I don't think that was enough. They wanted to see some other stuff. So there you go. So that's kind of that. I do have other videos, of course, throughout my career, bits and bobs on the hard drive. All good fun. All good fun. Right. Yes, Joe. Yes, we're up to date there. So you're very welcome. It's Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 84, coming to you all the way from London here in the UK. It's Tuesday night. It's live chat time. So if you want to talk about bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, great bass players, albums with great bass players on. If your gear's not working, or you got a gear question, or your amp's decided it's going to kick the bucket, maybe your pedals aren't working, put a message or a comment in the live chat window, press send, it'll fly up here on the chat window. I can then respond to it, and if I don't know the answer, then one of the fine people here probably will. Obviously, we've got super chat if you wish to make a donation to the channel. In description box, you'll find affiliate links for StreamYard, vidIQ, Top Cashback, the Bass Center here in the UK, celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. You'll also find bass-related affiliate links for Amazon, Thomann, Gear for Music, and Andertons. You'll find social media links. You'll find Brooksy Bass Corner on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, BeReal, Reddit, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. There we go. There we go. If you want to join me here on the live chat by video, maybe you want a one-to-one conversation, or we can do a group chat, email me, brooksyspacecorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the link, you come through on video. That's how it works. It's as simple as that. So thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for all the likes, the comments, the shares over the past week. Very much appreciated, of course, as always. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you like the video and you enjoy it, then please give it a thumbs up directly below the video. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, leave a comment. That way I can try and improve the video, make it better for you guys. Feel free to share any of the videos here on the channel out to social media, email, websites. Please leave comments. It's very important for the algorithm. So thumbs ups, comments, shares, extremely important to the channel. But thank you very much if you do that already. Quite wonderful. I can't do it without you guys. You know that. So yeah, so let's know. Anyone bought anything new this week? Anything on the horizon? Anything you've got your eyes on? We've got Black Friday approaching, of course. And I was going to say, I mentioned it last week and I think the week before, I'm going to try and do another Brooksy's Black Friday Superstore again, like I did last year. So basically I'll sit here, we'll do a live chat. I'll find you all the bargains I can online and post up the relevant links. And if I can get you guys a bargain, then I've done my job. Now, there's one little snag. So last year, I think we ran from about 12 o'clock till 4. Unfortunately, on Black Friday this year, I've got to get down to Lyme Regis down in Dorset for an Uncle Funk show. So I've actually got to leave here at around 12:30 after midday. So what I'm proposing is that we'll do Black Friday from 9 in the morning, UK time, until midday. Now, obviously, it's not going to work for people in the US because you're going to be fast asleep, but you can always watch on catch up. And hopefully, because I'll be doing it earlier in the day, I'll see all the bargains. I'll be able to round it all up. And then if you watch the video after the event, those links and the bargains will still be there. Fingers crossed. I don't know if it's going to work. It might not. But anyway, at least I'll be finding the bargains early. Like last year, we found things like, in fact, let me open up the video details because I put all the details in there. So last year, we found good deals on, well, I know one straight off the bat. That was the Source Audio Spectrum filter pedal, which is normally about 230, 240 pounds. I found a place selling it for 160 and it sold out really quick once I put it up. I don't know if anyone here, regular viewers of the channel, well, got that bargain. I don't know. So last year on Amazon, we found the NUX Melvin Lee Davis pedal. We got the Laney Digbeth pedals, a whole range of rotor sound strings were reduced in price, some D'Addario strings, some Ernie Ball instrument cables, DR strings, Ernie Ball instrument cables, some Fender cables, Jim Dunlop Guitar Tech Care Kit, some Fretta razors, linseed oil, D'Addario cables, D'Addario tuner, more strings, Jim Dunlop wood care kit. That could be workshop stuff, cleaning care kit. Sonic Cake octave pedal, a bunch of Boss pedals on Amazon, a rock board, Dark Glass Microtubes X Ultra pedal, the Boss Katana 100, some DR strings, a Fender Vintera 50s precision bass, a couple of Ibanez basses, a guitar rack. Yeah, list just goes on and on and on. So I want to try and do that again if I can. So as we get nearer the time, I think it's actually Friday 29th of November this year, I'll keep you informed, keep you posted. And like I say, I'm probably going to do it earlier in the morning. So if you want to come along for the ride, probably from about 9 a.m. and we'll do 3 hours, try and find as many bargains for you fabulous people as I can. Russell Zorner, I want to be in one of those bands that periodically has the secret signal and everyone switches instruments. No. I've been in bands like that. It's it doesn't necessarily work. Everyone has to be of a good standard to make that work. Gareth Harrison, good to see you. Gareth, you keep sending me things from the marketplace on Facebook. By the time I get the link, it's gone. They keep saying item has been removed, so I presume they've sold. But thank you. Keep them coming. Very handy. If I find any good deals on there, I'll post them up here and on the social media, of course. But thank you. I do appreciate it. Russell Zorner, albums. One of my great finds in the past few years was a band called Dust that had Kenny Aronson in it. Oh, yeah. And also the guy that would ultimately be Marky Ramone on drums. Okay. George Iliadis from Australia. Good to see you. Russell, but I had only known Aronson from HSAS Project, and he didn't really come front in that one. Okay. But his work in the 70s with Dust was crazy, especially for the times. Okay, cool. Completely changed my view of him as a musician. Yes, a red PVTL5 appeared for $800. I'm trying not to acquire it. I presume you're talking about Black Friday there, Russell. The pics are so bad is why I think it hasn't sold. It's flaming so hard. It looks like a solid red finish, but I've got Honeyburst and blue one, so I know what it actually looks like. Cool. Okie dokes. Very good. I'm just checking on the live stream quality. Just bear with me. Stream health is very healthy. Good. Stream health is excellent. Super. That's what we want. We've got 14 viewers on at the moment. And yeah, all looking good. All looking good. Let's just see how's that going. That's all fine. Just checking everything on the technical side here of the live chat, so we're all good. So yeah, anyone got anything on their shopping lists in preparation for Black Friday? Oh, we've just lost a couple of subscribers. Never mind. Actually, it's weird. We've had quite a subscriber surge over the past 2 or 3 weeks. So thank you very much if you're a new subscriber. In the last 24 hours, we've had a few people drop off, but sometimes that can be people getting rid of their YouTube accounts for posting. And yeah. Messages flying in. Stacey Ann Russell, I've never heard of the secret signal band thing. Wow. Well, they either have a signal or they memorize the spots. Wolfpack does it a lot. Okay. One of my favorite albums is Done Dusted by the Dust Junkies, a Manchester band from the mid-90s. I know exactly who they are. They were featured in Bassist magazine in 1998 and a few other times. I've got articles of them. Just to my right, I've got all my Bassist magazine copies there. They were a good band at the time. Yeah. Didn't hang around that long. They kind of came at the end of Britpop, really. And I think by about early 2000s, they'd split up and gone their own ways, I think. Stacey Ann, I'll have to check that out. A Dig Joe Dart. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Very good. So it's just coming up and well, ish to 9 o'clock. It's 5 to 9 here in London, in the UK. Hope you're safe and well wherever you are in the world. Hope your bass playing's going great. So, topic of conversation tonight, as I mentioned earlier. What are your bass goals? What do you want to achieve with your bass playing? What are you trying to do? Are you a home player? Do you just play for enjoyment at home, playing along to records? Are you looking to be the next big thing? Have you got aspirations to be in a stadium filling band? Are you trying to be professional and see where it takes you? Or do you just get together with friends at the weekend and do the odd pub gig here and there? Let me know. Let me know. What are you trying to achieve with your bass playing? If you want to join in on the live chat by video, you can. You don't have to just stay in the text window. You can come on here live by video. Just email me at brooksyspacecorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. Click on the invite and you come straight through here onto the live chat. That's how it works. Got no inquiries thus far, but that's fine. If anyone feels the lure of coming onto the live chat by camera, you are more than welcome. So we're doing the live chats every Tuesday from 8 o'clock up until 17th of December. The only one that isn't on a Tuesday will be the 11th of December, the week before the last one before Christmas. Basically, I've got an ABBA show in a theatre on the Tuesday. So I've had to move that live chat to the Wednesday. But it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, anyone earmarked anything that they're keeping an eye out for on Black Friday? Any pedals, basses, amps, strings, accessories? What are you looking for, or what are you trying to see if you can snag for a bargain price? Let me know. I just might see one on my travels. Oh, blimey, comments all flew in there. Gareth Harrison, seen a few Sterling Joe darts on Facebook Marketplace now the novelty has worn off. Correct. Knew that would be the case. He's a great player. You know, he is a great player, but that bass is a novelty for him. It's not really my thing. Looks like a woodwork project that wasn't finished. Russell, if I was playing as much as I want, I'd probably be looking for deals on a variety of tape strings to try out. Okay. I've only got the Labella white golds and I like them. Okay. Stacey Ann saying, cool. Patrick Sweeney, I'm always striving to get better, but aren't we all? Secretly, I want a sparkly outfit like yours. You wait till you see the new outfit. So when we do the dress rehearsal on Sunday, I'm bringing my camera along and a tripod. I'm going to film Sunday's dress rehearsal. You think my black sparkly outfits are nice? You well, nice isn't the right word. Showy is probably the word I'm looking for. Wait till you see what we're wearing for the Decades of Dance show. It's actually going to be broken down into 3 sets. We've got 3 costume changes. So some of the stuff I've already seen, and it's going to look fab. If all this, everything that's been planned all comes together on the show, it's going to look absolutely stunning. So I will film some and I will show you some clips next week, like I just did with that. Let's see, Manfred Oliveris, good to see you, my friend. I think that first sight reading must be a top priority for any bassist, no matter what. Well, I can't sight read, Manfred. I can read a bit, but I never have professionally read regarding bass playing. I can read if I can sit and work it out. I can't sight read. It is something I'm trying to address. I've actually bought a couple of books in the past week or so. I'm waiting for them to arrive. Although, to be fair, at the age of 52, my requirement for being able to sight read has probably long passed me by. And I probably should have addressed it a lot sooner, but I didn't need to in the bands I was in. But we'll see. We'll see. So someone starting out, I would say if you can get some sight reading under your belt and use it, it would be a worthy tool to have in your box. But certainly if you want to be a gigging bassist earning money, being a sight reader is not a requirement. It isn't. I've done it for 29 years and I've done okay. So, but each to their own. You know, some people it's a goal to be able to do that. For me, it never was. I knew I could make a living being able to play and use my ears and have a good sense of what I needed to do as a bass player rather than reading charts. Jeffrey Boyle, good to see you. Welcome. Patrick, nothing wrong with a bit of show business. No, quite right. Quite right, Patrick. That's why we've got LEDs in our basses, as well as obviously the old eyes not being what they were. Russell, there's a 3-day tribute band festival here called Hairfest, and I'd like to get on the injured reserve list. Someone got too drunk when I'm up to it again. Okay. Manfred, well, it's a work in progress, but you got to practice every day, never late to evolve. No, I know. Unfortunately, my life is so busy and I have so much going on that actually finding the time to do the things I need to do bass wise is a struggle. It certainly is a struggle at the moment because we're dealing with a lot of family ill health, and it's been ongoing for a considerable amount of time, and it has sort of scuppered a few things, but these things have to be addressed. So we're doing that at the moment. And but I don't get time to sit and practice other than when I'm practicing for something that I've got coming up. I don't get to play for enjoyment. I haven't done that for years. And if I was to pull some theory books out of my book boxes there on my shelf, I never get time to sit there and run through stuff systematically and progress. It's never happened as a professional musician. For years, I was running my own bands that I was in, and that took up so much time because you're trying to generate work, and that takes up hours of time. My situation now is that I don't do any of that. The bands I'm in and that I play with, all the work is done for me. I literally turn up, I play, and I go. I don't have any bookings or anything organizational to do. So it's a different sort of flip side of that coin, but it's life is hectic. It really is. Let's have a look. Russell, that means I could schmooze around for 3 days and just be the hired gun that remembers all the old songs, just in case of. I get you. Kevin Allen, when I'm playing along with stuff, I drop the third 2 strings and play it on the E with the root on the D. Okay. Kevin Allen, is there a better way? I'll let someone else answer that, just because I need to sort of rattle through these comments. But if anyone knows how to help Kev there, feel free to contribute. Patrick Sweeney, I find that some tabs and music scores are not that accurate sometimes. Online, that's most of the time, Patrick. The amount of times I've looked up little sections on certain songs that I just needed quickly to learn, like quick. I've got to get out the door in like 20 minutes. I just need to know what that turnaround is. And it's so wrong. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, you're right. Most of them aren't accurate. George Iliadis, regret not putting more time into my playing in the early days. Now playing catch up, however. Enjoying it more than ever. Good for you, sir. Manfred Oliveras, just 15 minutes every day is like working out. Don't let your excuses be bigger than your dreams. Oh, I hear that. Unfortunately, I have 2 dogs to walk at the moment and a million other jobs to do, like every day. And just finding time. It's finding time. Trying to keep a YouTube channel going. Anyone that follows this channel knows I can't get into a regular pattern of content uploading. It's just regarding what I do, bass stuff, it's not like doing a vlog where you just film something and throw it together and edit it and out it goes. I have to kind of, or what I would try and do is, and I pride myself on trying to do the best job I can. Okay, the earlier videos are a little bit patchy, a little bit, I was learning how to do it. Okay, so that's not an excuse. It was just I didn't know how to make them better. Now I do. But I try to make sure I maintain a level of reasonable quality on the content that I put up. And that takes time. I did that video a couple of weeks ago, the Flatley bass ace pedal. And I thought I'd be able to edit that and get it out pretty quick. Not a chance. It took 10 hours. And that's not including the filming. The filming took an extra hour and a quarter. So yeah, it's these things just take time. They just take time. Patrick Sweeney, Stu Clayton's books are great and seem to be very accurate. Yeah, Stu's stuff is top notch. I'll vouch for Stu's stuff. I've got many of them here, so you can pretty much guarantee and trust his books. Russell, I can read treble clef in my mind, but with bass, my lips move. Okay. You'll learn to read if you want to. All the band geeks can read a note at a time. All the band geeks can read a note at a time, at least. It's the piano where it gets more complicated to start out, but you will learn the names of everything. But anyone who wasn't in school bands isn't going to pick it up unless they want to or have to in order to access some music offline that just isn't available in tab or lesson format. Well, this is the other thing. You can learn to read, and if you don't then put it into practice, it's like training to be an athlete. If you don't use those muscles, you lose it. And so you have to be doing it. And unless you're going to be sight reading on a regular basis, you know, I couldn't put myself out as a sight reader. And probably to get to that standard, I'd need 7 to 10 years of serious graft here to do it. But if I could get to a point where I think I could do it for a gig, I'd be happy with that. But again, it's just having the time to do it. Russell, when I was getting my associate's degree, USA calls their 2-year degrees, I was allowed to use music for my 2 humanities electives because they count it as a language. Marcus Miller does the same. He says, your ability to solo would be no different than your ability to read and talk. He's right, because what you play as a musician is your communication, it's your language. So you have to build a vocabulary. Manfred, we really appreciate your time and experience. Thanks for that. Life is complicated. Certainly is. And I'm glad you appreciate my time and experience. Lord knows I've got plenty of it. Patrick Sweeney, we run open mics and jam nights every week. And about 75% of the songs people want to sing, we're in the house band. I've never played before, so I have to read those ones. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. I understand that fully. Time for some Diet Cream Soda, I feel. In the Brooksy's Bass Corner merch mug, of course. Try and lubricate the old throat. Kevin Allen asking, Patrick, has anyone ever asked you to do Primus? I can't imagine that's particularly a sing-along tune, but you never know. I'll let you answer that one, Patrick. So if you want to join in the live chat here by video, you can just email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite and then you come straight through. You'll be here in the green room and I'll bring you to screen as soon as I can. So. It's all good. Stream health is good. That's what we like to see. And Patrick, I live in hope. What are being asked to do Primus? Excellent. Excellent. Manfred, my list of goals in no particular order. 1, sight reading. Good start. Good start. Very good. I'm intrigued to know what number 2 is. Oh, here we go. There's a flurry here. Ear training, number 2. That's all good. 3, bass setup. Okay. 4, improvising. Okay. 5, learn different styles. All good. So out of your 5, I can do 2, 3, 4, and 5 to a reasonable standard, I would like to think. Although, to be honest, improvising doesn't really come into what I do all that often. I'm not a jazzer, never have been. Don't put myself into those situations, but I can do stuff when I need to. You know, I've got enough under the fingers over the years that I know things that will work if I need to call upon them quickly. If I can work out what key someone's playing in, I'm there. So I'm pretty good in that respect. But I'm not a blagger. I've never done that and sort of busking. Well, I don't mind doing it where you do those gigs and people just, oh, we're going to do that, and it's in G, and you're like, oh, I don't know what the changes are. I'm usually pretty good at working stuff out, and I've got a fairly good ear for stuff, but I hate being in the situation where the whole band is blagging it. It's not my thing. That's just poor band management in my book. Russell, sight reading is a different skill than just being able to read. You'll never forget how to read. Like anything else, you'll just be slower. I have to transpose bass clef in my head to this day. Okay. I could probably fumble through a sight read, but it would be less than competitive. This is what I'm saying. I don't really want to do something that I spend loads and loads of time learning how to do it and then never use it because you're just going to forget it. My question for myself is, will I learn it and learn to do it quickly enough that I can make use of it before I stop playing professionally? We'll see. We'll see. I've got to do the fretless thing as well. That's on my list. The pretty much all those episodes, or I think it's going to be about 10, certainly to start with, of the fretless Odyssey, which will be coming your way, I think, probably just after Christmas. They're all scripted out. Just got to get down and get filming. So it's about a year late, but we'll get there. Just had a few, a lot of things on our plate this year here at Brooks Towers. So, as I say, trying to get the content out regularly and on time has been a real challenge, but we'll get there. Russell, oh yes, we've done that bit. Sorry. I got it. So it's coming out 9:15 here on Brooksy Bass Corner live chat 84 live chats. Woo! They've flown by. I know that much. Patrick, as long as you can read a chord chart and understand what notes can be played for those chords, you can get through most songs. Yep. See, a lot of the work I've done, in fact, all the work I've done, has just been a case of you either know the stuff you're playing or you're not, and you've got to have it up there. And then you get into things like wedding gigs where you might do a first dance that you're never going to play again. And I would always, in one of my old bands, we would accommodate first dances if we weren't going to play them again, but we charged them a premium for doing so. But I would do an emergency chord chart, and it would be on a piece of paper, and it would be stuck to the back of the PA speaker that was always to my left. And basically, I would learn the song, but I had that chord chart as a cheat sheet if I needed it. And at the end of the gig, you just go, and you're never going to play it again. And that would pretty much be 98% of the first dances I have ever had to play. If they weren't already something that we played, they would be songs that I never ended up playing again. I can say that now, but at the time it was like, oh, might need that. So I kept the chord sheets on my hard drive, and I could just print them out if I needed to. But here we go. Manfred, playing bass and singing at the same time, very difficult to do. It's weird. I can do it as BVs, and occasionally I have been known to do lead vocals, but I don't have a great singing voice. I've got great falsetto and great low end. I'm not a great mid-range singer, which is where most great vocalists have power and clarity. I don't tend to have that. I can do great like top end falsetto and further down, but I don't have good mid range, just the way it is. So BVs are my territory. Kevin, reading is useful. It's how I record ideas before I forget them. Trying to write out tab is a pain in the clef. Yeah, I hear. Mobile phone using the sound recorder is always a good thing. Always a good thing. I use it more now than I think I've ever done. If I need to record something really quick, I'll just do it on voice recorder. Manfred, totally agree with Patrick. Very good. Russell, I will say there are people I want to communicate with about ideas, but I can't speak on their level. So those are future goals. Get musically smart enough to petition those folks for their knowledge. I hear. Yeah. Okay. I think we're up to date on all the messages. Now, I have a little something on my hard drive. Joe Goose, are you still there? Let me see if I can find this. So, it's not there. It's on that. If you are there, Joe Goose, I might have a little something that might interest you or not. Let me just see if now I've got to try and work out which folder this is in. Okay. What's that? Oh, I know. No, that's not what we want at all. So, trying to remember. Looking at a video here from 2001, corporate event, and this is some of the only footage I've got of me when I owned Mark King's Stingray 4-string. And now I can't see what those names are, so let me just see if I've got song titles on these or not. No, I haven't. Well, that's really good, Mike. Well done. Let's see if I can find some clips where I'm playing it. Oh, I see though. It's edited on a desk, so it's jumping between shots all the time. Ah, there we go. There we are. So I'm much younger here, of course. So let me and actually I need to mute that as well because it will end up with copyright issues. Let's see if I can share this with you. So this is my old covers band many years ago when I was in a band called Cover Story and the Offenders. Same lineup. Started out as a 4-piece, became a 3-piece eventually. So this is with, for those with a keen eye, this is we were doing it with a female singer for this event. We needed a female singer because it was corporate. So this is with Pete and Steve from FM. So I don't dig this footage out very often. So let you have a quick look at this. But this is me with Mark King's old Stingray 4-string many years ago, 23 years ago. Clearly, I don't look like this now. There's Mr. Overland doing his thing. There's the bass at the back. Miss Jo Burns, that was. She was very busy vocalist here in London. So there's a lot of camera work going on, and we got a video dump of the footage. So this was all shown on screens either side and at the back, and yeah. So there's that. Let's see if I can find another one that's got some bits and bobs on there. Not sure what's going on with my barnet, but there we are. Oh yeah, that'll do you. Okay. Come on, please. What are you doing? There we go. Yeah, let me just rewind that to there. There we go. Back in the old days when I had a Hartkey rig, 4x10 XL cabinet, HA 3500 head. Yeah, glory days, 2001, like I say. Now, something very odd happened the day before. So this was on a Friday in August 2001. And the day before was the general election when Labour got voted in for a second time. Now, that week, I had been doing rehearsals for an original artist I was working with at the time. We had some acoustic shows coming up, so we'd been rehearsing down at Terminal Studios down near London Bridge all week. And on that night, on the Thursday, so every night I came back to Ealing Broadway Tube, came out the tube, turned left, walked down onto Uxbridge Road, caught the bus, went home. On that night, I got on the bus, went home. About 3 minutes after the bus got past Ealing Broadway shops, an IRA bomb went off at the Carphone warehouse, which was directly opposite the bus stop. So as you came out of the tube and turned left down to the Uxbridge Road, the Carphone warehouse was on the corner on the opposite side of the road. And had I not got the bus when I did, I would have been basically standing on the other side of the road from that bomb blast. I missed it by 3 to 5 minutes. I didn't even know it had happened. Kind of the bus sort of went flying down the Uxbridge Road at a fair rate of knots. Not because of the bomb, it just the way the guy was driving. I didn't even hear the bomb go off. So that tells me how far we got down that road. I found out the following morning, it was on the news. Carphone warehouse in Ealing Broadway has been bombed. That was the end of Carphone warehouse at that store. They moved it, I think, somewhere else on Ealing Broadway after that. But yeah, I avoided an IRA bomb by about 5 minutes. I might not have been here to tell the tale, but that gig that footage was from was the following day. Crazy old time. Crazy old time. Let's have a look. I've missed a load of messages here. Russell, once you learn the names of the notes and intervals, then your ear will be pretty good. Practice singing intervals in a mirror for like 3 minutes a day when whoever you're trying to play with will teach you the rest from there on. 116 on the West Coast where you are. Very good. Okay. Gareth Harrison, I've always tried to play with musicians that are better than me. Hang on, I've gone too far there. There we go. You've always tried to play with musicians that are better than you, so it pushes you to play better. I totally agree with that. Sometimes it's hard to find those better musicians, and sometimes better musicians don't want to play with people that they feel aren't to their level. I've been on that end. I've been on the receiving end of that before. It is what it is. Russell, the trick is convincing them to play with you. Yeah, exactly. Been down that road, especially early on in my career. Russell, since it's hard to get two bass players in a jam trading off of different skills, I try to find all the local ones I like and go patron their gigs to watch and ask questions. That all sounds reasonable to me. Nashville literally has its own notation, called Nashville notation. I still don't get it, but apparently you have to know it to work in Nashville. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Very much so. Manfred Oliveras, 4:19 p.m., sunny and 30 degrees in the Caribbean. Good for you, sir. No audio for the videos. No, Manfred, I've got to turn the audio off because they're covers songs. They're other people's creations, and I can't risk copyright strikes and copyright claims on the live chat, unfortunately. Sorry. Well, obviously the bass playing sounds fabulous, but no, I can't risk it, I'm afraid. Kev Allen, got to go. Catch you next week. Cheers, Kev. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Hope everything's good at your end. So yeah, if you want to join us on the live chat here on video, you can just email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com, and I will send you an invite. You then click on the invite and you come through here to the live chat. That's how it works. Very simple, very easy. You can have a one-to-one chat with me, or you can address the team here on the Tuesday night live chat here on Brooks's Bass Corner. So, apologies for the dog barking. I think my other half has just arrived back from the hospital, so that's what they're making a noise for. I don't need a burglar alarm in here anymore. They between the two of them, they make an absolute din at the merest hint that a leaf might fly across the drive. But there we are. That's what I pay them for. Of course. So. Now I might as well ask you guys. It's going to be the topic of a message I'm going to put on the community tab tomorrow. So, and I've asked this before on live chats, but I appreciate your input, and I'd like to know what you'd like to see here on the channel. Periodically, I'll throw this out there, so let me know. You can put it in the live chat window. You can send me messages on social media, whatever you wish, or you can come on the live chat by video and tell me what you'd like to see here on the channel. So, looking ahead into next year, kind of got enough content to sort out this side of Christmas, but once we get into January, I want to get my podcast up. I want to get the Fretless Odyssey up and running. More reviews, more demos. I've got some vintage interviews to put up. There's going to be a couple over the next week or two anyway. One of which I've been waiting for this anniversary to come up, which I think is next week or the week after. So rather than me try and sort of smother it in a layer of deception, basically it's the interview I did with Jack Bruce in 2013. So next week, I think, well, it won't be next Tuesday, it'll be towards the end of next week. It will be 10 years since Jack Bruce passed away. So I want to put that interview up at last. Those of you who used to read Bass Guitar Magazine will know that interview featured in the 100th issue back in 2013. After 10 years, time for me to put that audio out there. So I'm going to be putting that up. And there's a couple of others that I want to put up. But let me know. What would you like to see here on the channel? What would you find useful? I'm trying not to do theory. I don't do theory generally. There's plenty of other channels that do all that. But what would you find interesting? I know I've had people before say they would like videos on how to use certain effects, certain types of effects, how to use compression properly, how to make the most of chorus effects, flanges, phasers, all that sort of thing. And that I get sort of told about fairly regularly. But is there anything else that you'd really like to see here on the channel? If I can make it happen, that's what I want to do. I'm serving you guys. You've watched the channel. You come on here regularly. So I want to put content up that you people would like to see. Try not to be too specific, because there's some things I just can't do, or certain pieces of gear I can't get hold of. But if give me like a broad subject area that you would like to see. And I mean, I've got a million ideas all jotted down in my notebook, but sometimes if you come up with something that sort of just hits the bullseye, then I can look at it and think, can I do that? And then we can take it from there. Manfred, any links from that era or recent projects? Sorry, Manfred, you've lost me. Explain further. If you can, yeah, if you can expand on that, I'll try and provide what you require. Patrick Sweeney, yes, more fretless, please. I don't play mine anywhere near enough. Okay. Gareth Harrison, your process to learning songs. That is going to be a video. Yes, I will do that. John Cooper, hi, Brooksy. And oh, let me just put these up so people can see these. So these are the suggestions for things you'd like to see here on the channel. Okay, that will be a definite happening, Gareth. I could do that video like right now. I wouldn't even need to script it. So John Cooper, hi Brooksy and all. Good evening. Sorry I'm late. No, you don't have to say sorry. It's fine. You can always watch on catch up, so it's all good. Sorry if I've missed this. How was the new pedal board? Right. Okay. So at the start of the live chat, John, I haven't been able to do that and finalize that board because we've had an ongoing thing here with my mother-in-law who's in hospital, and I simply haven't had the time to get around to doing it. The pedal board will take shape finally on Thursday and Friday this week. Dress rehearsal for the new show is Sunday, so by the time we get to next Tuesday's live chat, I'll have already done the dress rehearsal with what I hope is going to be my sort of finalized board. So sorry I couldn't do it for this week. It is coming. So I did the rehearsal a week and a half ago, and like I said on last week's live chat, I think I had 4 or 5 pedals on there that I didn't really need. So I'm going to redo it this week, and I think I can lock it down from that point, and then I can show you next week. So that will be coming. Sorry to hear about your mother-in-law, mate. Good wishes to you and yours. Thank you. Manfred, I will like to see your playing live from early 2000s and your approach to learn songs and playing them. Okay. That's kind of the same thing as Gareth said. So I will be doing a video on that very shortly. Russell, fretless is what I prefer. Everyone's gone over the irony of a fretless precision bass. Yeah. Jerry Blair, good to see you. Yes, more fretless I play for all the time. No frets, no worries. Very good. Yeah, right. Fretless it is then. So clearly there's a bit of a market for that. So I will crack on with that forthwith. Like I say, the Fretless Odyssey, which is what I'm calling that series of videos, that's pretty much all scripted out. I worked on that quite a while ago. Those videos are scripted. I've just got to get around to filming how I want to do it. And the joining up process between each episode. So I need to kind of work on that. But I think those will be ready to start putting out probably mid-January. I think once Christmas and New Year are out the way. I've got enough to just bear with me a moment, gang. Ollie, give it a rest. Thank you. I've got enough to get me through till Christmas at the moment that's on backlog. So I will get those videos up and out and try and have something of a clear deck as we go into 2025. And then I can unleash that series and also the podcast. Podcast was meant to be this year. And there are 5 of those videos already done. But what I wanted to do was have 10 ready and then upload them for 1 a week. So again, that's something for January, I think. Russell, frets are always a compromise anyhow. Your temperament is as true as your ear. Very true. You can set your phone, do some live from gig setups from what people have said. In terms of, sorry, Russell, you've confused me there. You can set your phone and do some live from gig setups from what people have said. What do you mean? Manfred, you'd like to see my playing from early 2000s. Ha! That dog's going nuts. Okay. Well, the thing is, I can show you the video, but I can't show you the audio because. Ollie! Just let me open the door a second. I think he's barking. He can hear me, but he can't see me. Yes, sir. What's up? What's up, you two? Hey. I'll bring you. Come here. Come here. Come here. You want to go on camera? Come here. Right, come say hello to the world, okay? So Ollie's down here. It's my mother-in-law's dog who we're looking after. Obviously, Lord Charles is here. Three-legged Chihuahua. You're going to say hello to everyone. Are you there? Hey? Oh, I know. You love your dad. Yes, I know. I know. He's coming on leaps and bounds. His YouTube channel will be up and running shortly. Isn't that right? Look at. There they are. Are you a handsome boy? Are you? What have you been eating? Because you're licking your lips. You had biscuits? Have you? Have you had biscuits? Oh my. Are you a good boy? Right, Mum will be home in a minute. Go see where Ollie is. Go see where Ollie is. Good boy. There we are. So that's the chi, obviously. And here we go. Lads. Excuse me. Quiet. Enough. Thank you. Enough. Just wait. Hang on. Russell, you don't have to put footage of the gig itself, but putting together and packing up for those who don't do festival or club gigs is interesting. Okay, Russell, let me point you towards the bass string experiment series. So this is, you may or may not know, I did a series of videos. Here's my playlist. Here we go. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Okay, I'm going to put a link here in the live chat. So, Russell, check this out. It's not necessarily addressing, I think, what you want, but it kind of is. So basically, it's 73 episodes of a series that I did. So there's not 73 videos, but it covers 73 shows where I use the same set of strings on one bass across all those things. You will see all the gigs that I'm on and the different sort of gigs that I do. Again, I can't give you audio of me playing because we'll get copyright problems, but you'll see the gigs and there's some audio in the back. It's YouTube audio in the background. So check that out if you want to see the sort of things I do. But I will be doing from 2025. I'm going to start doing some vlogging content, which I know everyone kind of does it, but I get these sort of requests quite commonly where people say, oh, let's see you at a gig, let's see what goes on behind the scenes, and so I'm going to start doing some of that. I've done a bit of it before, but we'll try and do it a bit more regularly and consistently. So the first couple of months will be a bit quiet. There'll just be a few things here and there, but once we get into sort of April, May, June time, it goes ballistic. So if you guys can keep up with the videos, then I'll do them. I've got a nice phone holder in the car, be able to literally from me loading up the car and doing all that, we'll try and do something that's interesting. I don't want it to get samey. That's the problem. It can, those sort of things can become a little bit monotonous. Some of the bass string experiment series, it got that way. It was, you know, once the strings were dying off, some of those recordings just become the same thing. I'm saying the same thing over and over again. It was hard to paint a set of strings that are wearing out in a different color every time, you know. But there we go. Maybe show hang on, I'm catching up here. Maybe people who do pick up tips from that too. Jerry, you know, Mr. Jerry Blair picked up many hints and tips from me doing gig videos and the bass string experiment. Isn't that right, Jerry? Patrick saying hello to Charlie. Russell, how to get all your stuff for a gig in a Hyundai? Yeah, well, let's think. I've used estate cars since 2011. So Yeah, although now my car's bigger than what I need it for in terms of gear, because I very rarely take backline unless I'm doing a Queen gig. Funky Hobbit, Mark Palmer, good to see you. Never worked with children or animals. Couldn't agree more. How are you? I hope you're good. Long time no see. Hi, Mike. We connected 20 odd years ago. I sold you Custer Colin. Yes, indeed, you did. Solid Yellow Status 2000. Did Morgan Roussel buy it from you? Yes, he did. Later that year, I had 5 Status 2000s here at one time, Mark, and I kept one. And what astounded me was how different they all sounded. Okay, they were from different years, but I kept this one. I think this was the second one I bought. And I think Custer Colin might have been about the 4th. And I kept hold of all 5 for a period and took them out on gigs until I decided which one I was keeping. This one I kept and the others all went. But this was the bass that Stuart Clayton did all the Mark King level 42 transcription books using. Volumes 1 to 5 were done with this bass before he had his GB. So yeah, a bit of bass history, but this is the one I kept. It's the best sounding of the lot. I did use Colin on a couple of, well, actually quite a few gigs. About 6 or 7 gigs, I think. And it was good. It wasn't a match for that one. That one's got more bottom end, more top end. It just covered gigs a lot better than the other 4 did. But yeah. Custer Colin, yeah, worth big money. Well, all Status stuff is now, isn't it? It's although I keep saying that, you've got people trying to sell Washburn Status bases for 1,500 quid. It's not going to happen, guys. Get off of that. A Washburn Status is worth around 600 quid, 700 at a push. You're not going to get 1,500 quid for that. And you've got a very nice collection as well, Mr. Palmer. Or you did have. I don't know what you still got. You'll have to remind me. It's been a long time. I did see when you subscribed to my channel, I thought, I know that name. So I hope you're well. Hope everything's good at your end. Jerry Blair, yes, mate, fantastic, superb. George, that is awesome. Okay, I don't know what that's in referral to, George. You'll need to tell me. John Cooper, my goal. Getting grips with a 5-string, okay. After 35 years of playing, I bought a 5 a year ago and have played that exclusively since. Fit my band's repertoire, but still taking some getting used to. Yeah, I've never had a problem adjusting the playing of 5. It's just a lot of the stuff I've played, certainly in the last 26 years, 5 would not have worked. And I say that because, and we've had this discussion on the live chats before, was when I was in my regular covers band that I was in for 17 years, we had 2 guitars, bass and drums, 3 and sometimes 4-piece vocals, and sometimes backing tracks for modern dance music that needed extra stuff. And it took us about 6 months to get the point where we had everyone's frequencies in check. The second guitarist in the band always insisted on playing through Marshall keyboard or bass amps with Marshall keyboard or bass speakers. He never used the guitar versions. And the reason being was he used to do lots of solo and duo shows where he wanted lots of bottom end in his tone. I'm just going to shut the door. Bear with me a moment. Please. I'm just trying to do my video, all right? And it took us a while to find where bass and second guitar fitted. Gareth Harrison, you'd like to come onto the live chat? I'll send you an invite. 2 seconds. And once we found it, it worked great. But had I used a 5-string, it just simply wouldn't have worked that good. The low B stuff would have just got lost in the mix. And in the end, we had to try and convert him from using bass amps and speakers and try and get him to do regular cabs. And eventually we got there and it all worked great. But it was just a 5-string in that situation wouldn't have worked. Exactly the same reason why I don't use a 5-string in Uncle Funk Disco Inferno, because we're a 9-piece band. We've got keys, we've got drums, guitar, 5 vocals, horns, bass. If I start using a 5-string going into sub area, it might be okay, but you just don't want to muddy up the mix. And yeah, I could do it, but I like playing a 4 predominantly. I'll play a 5 if I have to. But when I've played 5s, I don't find the adjustment that difficult. I find I can kind of get on and do what I need to do. So first couple of days of practice, yeah, it'll be a thumb rest, the low B, just rest the thumb on it and just play, get your geography right. And as you get confident with the songs, those low notes should just fall under your fingers if your brain's working right and you're thinking where you're going. So I don't have a problem, but I tend not to play a 5 unless I have to. I just like 4s. I like, my first 5 was a Stingray, Music Man Stingray, because I'd had a 4-string Stingray, of course, but they sounded completely different. They weren't the same bass at all. And I liked the sound of the 4 much more. So yeah, that's my kind of take on that. George Iliadis, the bass, just lovely. Oh, the Status, thank you very much. Cheers, George. Russell, John Cooper, what 5-string? I think that might be the Series 2 Status he's talking about. It might be the neck isn't just right for you on that one. They range widely. My Valley Arts 5-strings are way different than my PVTL 5, for instance. Yeah. Mark Palmer got Rio Dream bass. I saw you had that. Dingwall Combustion, very good. Starchild JD, of course, goes without saying. MTD 435, that's a nice one. 70s Hot Rod Jazz, yeah, I saw that. Marcus Miller, right, okay. Touring with a Duran tribute, lovely. If you need a dep, you know where I am. Hence the Dingwalls, your channel and podcast, mint. Thanks, mate, pleasure. Obviously, I've got the full John Taylor experience here, so let's see one of those, of course. It's be 1000. Tip it up so you can't see it because I've put that caption there. Let me just take that off. Let me just take that one off. There we go. So SB 1000, of course, goes without saying. Oh, hello. Get that in there. Don't fall backwards. Thank you. Then obviously a pair of Kubikis. Be rude not to. So the old pink one that's now fretless. Then we've got the white one here as well. It's in the rack, actually. I can't get there with the headphones on. So white Kubiki there, fretted, 1988. Dingwall NG2 hanging up on the wall. Yeah. Yeah, your channel and podcast is mint. Thank you very much. John Cooper, Russell's Honor. I started with a silence. Gareth Harrison popping in. I'll be coming to you shortly, young man. You started with a Sire Marcus Miller V8, then bought my Dream Bass in the summer, 94 Status Series 2 5-string. Very different necks, absolutely. String spacing on the Sire, 19 millimeters. Status is 15 millimeters. Correct. It's a bit of a difference, isn't it? Oh, crikey. Russell saying to Mark Palmer, John and Cliff both played some killer Aria basses, and both signatures are on my list to have trade with at some point, even if I ultimately don't keep them. I want to put hands on them. Very good. Yep, that's a spread. Mark Palmer, nice. And the Coral Kubiki, yep, one of 3 in that color. I was led to believe from Mr. Kubiki himself. Russell, I'm not comfortable enough with any type of neck yet to say what my actual preference is. I still enjoy exploring what I've already got to get through. Yeah, okay. Mark Palmer, I sold Stu Clayton his red one for £400. Oh, that stings a little, I would venture to say. They've appreciated nearly 1000%. Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. Right, we're going to pull Gareth Harrison on. First time on here. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on. How's tricks?
Yeah, all good. Just busy with work and then gigging at weekends and trying to fit it all in.
Excellent. Excellent. So how's the bass collection coming on?
I've got about 7 at the moment.
Nice. Nice.
Loving this one at the moment.
Oh, very good.
The,
Is that the Jack Cassidy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent
So
stuff.
I'm going between that and a Mexican P bass.
Cool. So what bands do you play? What sort of stuff do you play?
So I'm playing with an acoustic band called The Lost, and we do folky type Crosby, Stills and Nash, Neil Young type stuff.
Yeah.
Mixture of covers and our own stuff.
Okay.
So it's,
and are you out gigging with that?
Yeah, twice a month, something like that.
Oh, that's okay.
Just the three of us. The two guitarists swap between guitars, banjos, mandolins, and then just me on the bass.
Cool. Nice. Good work. Well, thank you very much for all those posts on Facebook. Like I said earlier, it's like every time one comes in on my messenger feed, I click on it and it said, "Oh no, it's gone." It's like, oh God, I didn't even get to see it. But thank you. Keep them coming. Always interesting to see. Cool. So anything on the shopping list that you're looking at?
I was thinking about the Jack Cassidy fretless that has just come out.
Yeah. Well, at least you know the gig bag.
Yeah, I've already got a fretless, which was I'll grab now. An old West Tone Thunder.
Very nice. Probably made in the same factory as this Harry.
Yeah,
probably on the same workbench.
The headstocks are almost identical as well.
That's it. All the woodworking's very similar timber. One's got a huge price tag on it, and the other one didn't.
I actually saved this one from going into a skip.
It's mad. And a lot of people don't know the correlation between the two.
When I got it, it had been dropped. So there's a big hole where the tone pot is. So I just stuck a washer on either side of the tone pot, and
that's it.
That was all it needed.
That's it. That's what you got to do. There were so many West Tones around, and like I say, people don't know the correlation. They were made in the same Matsumoku factory with the same timber by the same people. Just one has got an active electronics package in, and the other one's got another electronics package in. That's pretty much the only difference. They were made by the same. That
one's actually passive. That one's actually passive.
Yeah. But I bet it sounds good.
Yeah. Well, it was fretted and the frets were a mess, so I just got someone to rip them out and make it fretless because it's got a P bass pickup on it, and I've already got a P bass. So it was just.
Well, the other thing is because it's had a bit of a life, you're not going to be precious about it, so you're going to get stuck in and you're going to enjoy it. So good one, excellent stuff. So thank you for coming on the channel, and thank you for all your input on the live chats each week. It's really appreciated. So thank you, mate.
No worries.
So if there is anything you'd like to see here on the channel, then let me know. You know, if there's particular types of content that work for you, or you'd like to see stuff that isn't on any other bass channel, then although it's very hard to keep up with someone like Scott Devine, you know, he's pumping out about 5 videos a week. It's like, I can't do that.
No, not at all.
He's got just me.
Editing team behind him, though, hasn't he? So
he's got his editors work for MGM. Yeah. So it's I can't match on that. No one can compete. Even the big names like Nathan East and Billy Sheehan, their channels don't even get close. It's that's a full-time 100% business on its own. But good luck to Scott. He's a nice guy. So what's coming up for you? What have you got bass wise? What have you got gig wise?
Just a couple of gigs in the Manchester area. Nothing sort of.
Okay.
Co-host a couple of open mic nights every so often with friends, and that's the only time I'll have a tablet on stage because that needs to pull chords up for stuff you don't know.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You know my feelings on tablets, but in that context, it's totally
That's the only time I would do it. I'd never dream of taking one onto a gig one because it just looks so unprofessional.
Yeah, I will always remember the singer that was in a band I was in, and she would have it at face level. So if I use my phone, that's not even, you know, it's like 5 times that height. And she would have it in front of her face. And it's like, it's not very good for the crowd, is it?
Well, not only that, you're not listening to what the band's doing.
Correct.
You're concentrating on what you're reading.
Correct.
So you're not getting that live feeling. You might as well just be playing it parrot fashion.
That's exactly it. That's my point. If it's like with our horns in Uncle Funk, they're readers. They're reading the dots for their parts. If I said to them, right, now we're going to do the set and you don't have your pads, they couldn't play it. But that's what happens with horn players. That's the way they play.
Yeah.
But with bass, guitar, drums, singers, learn the stuff. It's what you. It's entertainment. It's not a recital. If it's a recital, I'll go and watch an orchestra. But if you're watching like a pop band or a rock band or a soul band or a funk band, you want to see the people have learned the material and they're performing it, not just you know, copying. Basically, it's what's written on that page. But there we are. There we are. You know not to get me started on that one. But I don't have a problem with it. It's
it has its place.
Yeah, it has its place, and in certain situations, it's you understand why. But it's like when you get depths and they turn up and they basically haven't learnt it, and then they'll say, "Oh, but I've written the parts out," and then they play it, and no, your parts are wrong. That's the problem. That's the problem. The parts are wrong.
Probably got it off some YouTube channel.
Yeah, probably
playing it wrong.
Highly likely.
Or Total Guitar or something like that.
Yeah, all of that. So yeah, message coming. Hold on. Patrick Sweeney. Yeah, you have to give a show when you're on stage. Totally, absolutely. I've lived by that since I was about 4 years old. You know, it's if you've spent the time learning it, it's going to show. If you turn up and you just try and wing it and blag it, that will show as well. So you know, it's a tricky one. Some people think that's acceptable, but it does seem to have been or become a proliferation of that sort of acceptance of rubbish since iPads became a thing. I don't remember it being a thing during the 2000s before iPads came out.
No.
Once people had a device with a screen that was big enough for them to read in a live situation, that's where it sort of went downhill. To be fair.
You see a lot of people, solo artists in pubs playing guitar, and they've got the phone attached to the mic stand and reading on it all the way through. And I'm just thinking, well, you're being paid for it. You might as well just be doing karaoke.
Yeah, no, correct. I mean, sometimes I'll have my phone on my mic stand, but it's filming. It's for content for the channel.
Yeah.
Because the thing I find, I'd like to film more of the gigs that I do, but the problem, certainly with the Uncle Funk shows and some of the Queen shows, is I can't put a camera or a phone someplace safe where it's not going to get nicked within an auditorium. It's sometimes you think, oh well, I could put it on a tripod in front of the curtains, but if the curtains open and knock it over, what was the point?
What about one of them clips and put it on the end of your headstock?
Yeah, I've thought about it. But like when I did the bass string experiment thing, it was a case of putting it on a tripod directly to my left, but you don't get a full view of the stage. You don't see all the lights. You don't get the whole sort of show. So next year, if I start doing this sort of gig vlogging idea, I need to find a way that I can put a recording camera or recording device somewhere that it conveys the whole show, because that's what I was finding with those bass string experiment videos was I couldn't get enough clear footage of the show. It would always be literally a camera right here, so you don't get to see everything that's going on, and it just becomes a bit repetitive when you're using that same angle time after time. But such is life. You can't have it all, and I'm not paying someone to come and film me, so it's hard enough keeping the money in your pocket as it is. So what strings are you... Go on.
I'm using, at the moment, the legacy bass strings that I sent you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, those nickel wound.
Yeah,
nickel
the
wound
basically
rotor
rotor
sounds.
sounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm liking them, and on me short scale Gretsch, I've got flats on that. Some
Okay.
Darios.
Yeah. That's the Gretsch Jet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was I've reviewed one of them at PMT back in 2017, I think. Great little bass for the money.
Yeah, I've got it to the side of me.
Yeah. There we go.
That one.
There we are. That's it. Exactly.
Got,
I think the one I
flats
covered
on that one.
Yeah, the one I covered was black, but really nice playing bass.
Yeah.
Good sounds on it. You wouldn't know that was like a sub sort of £600 bass.
I paid
It's really
£100
nice.
for that.
How much?
100 quid.
Oh, I think you got a deal.
Someone at work who bought it to learn and just never used it, didn't pick it up, and just wanted a shot of it.
There you go. 100 quid bargains are out there, people. Nice. And did it come with a case?
No. I just stick it in a guitar gig bag and it fits.
That's it. Yeah. No, they were good basses. I mean, it's mad when you think back. I remember when I was a kid starting out, and my dad always said, just remember the 3 Gs: Gibson, Gretsch, and Guild. Well, you don't see many Guild basses. That's never really been a thing, although Fender had a license for Guild as a name back in the 90s, but the Gretsch basses, they were always something. If you got hold of a Gretsch bass, it's like, well, they're pretty good, because they were usually acoustic or semi-acoustic electrics. But this, where's it made? Is that Korea?
China, I think.
China, okay.
Yeah, China.
They're really good quality stuff. And I remember when I did the review, it was like, no, this is a really like solid performing bass. It's it doesn't feel cheap.
Great for a pub gig where you've not got much space.
Exactly. It has a place.
Yeah.
It has a place. Patrick, Mike, you should put a GoPro on your headdress. Well, the thing is, if I did that on the Uncle Funk thing, it would fall over, because those prongs at the front, my last headpiece developed a bit of back bow, dare I say it, and started flopping down. So the weight of a GoPro would just ruin the one that I've got now. They would ruin the headdress that I've got now. But good idea, Patrick. I quite often film from my mic stand. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I should have been doing it more when I was doing the bass string experiment, but I didn't have a holder that was suitable for it. I had one for a tablet, but not a phone. The one I've got now is suitable. So, like I say, if I start doing a vlogging thing in from the new year onwards, next year, there'll be a load of stuff. And looking at our band diary already, I think there's about 35 shows, most of which are festivals. So there should be some good stuff. So I'll try and make it as interesting and bass relevant as I can. Russell just got a phone holder and a Bluetooth mic. Put the mic somewhere out in the room that sounds okay, or stick it with the sound front of house person so you're recording what they hear. See, the daft thing with Uncle Funk is we have the ability to record each show out of the rack directly, but every time I've tried to do it, there's been an input or an output or something has prevented me from doing it. And it would be nice, but the thing is, it would be mixed for the venue, not for a cold light of day board mix. So even though we've got no backline on stage, the room acoustics would affect how that mix sounds. So again, it's not always going to be ideal. So in that situation, I'm quite happy just to set a phone up or a camera or something, let it just do its thing. And again, for use on the YouTube channel, I could only use sections that were instrumental with no vocals on. Otherwise, I'm probably going to get a copyright claim or a copyright strike. So yeah. Stacey Ann, is that Charlie? It was. They were both kicking up a fuss. So I opened the door and Charlie came in. Russell, some might even let you plug your Bluetooth bit into their auxiliary out or whatever, so you can get the mix on your phone footage. again, Russell, I can't use a live mix with vocals on for fear of getting copyright issues. So I'm trying to, as I've explained on live chats before, I try to skirt around copyright as much as I can. I don't want to fall into that pit, because at some point, and I'm seeing a lot of videos from the educational channels at the moment on YouTube, and they're talking about it's starting to flesh out again on Facebook and Instagram, is that the media, the social media platforms are going to come down hard again on people using music and video that they don't own the copyright to. And I don't want to build a channel. And I've said this before, I don't want to build a channel that earns money and has had a lot of graft put in and then get shut down because of copyright strikes. And there is going to come a day at some point where
money.
Yeah, there's going to come a point, and no one knows when it's going to be, where YouTube's hand is going to be forced to, or they're going to lose a lot of channels, because there are so many channels that use other people's content, copyrighted audio, copyrighted video. And if the legal eagles say we've got to get rid of this, I think what will happen is they'll just go through each video and say, you can't have that, you can't have that, you can't have that. If they did a guillotine on it, I think they would lose probably over 50% of the channels that are on YouTube. The company can't afford for that to happen, so they'll probably go softly and say to people, please take this video down. But I don't want to produce videos that make money for me and YouTube and whatever else, and then lose it all. That's not the idea, that's not the plan. So again, that's why I kind of steer around copyright as much as I can. I've had it on some of the live clips from the Bass String Experiment, where I did recordings or I did live chats, and there was music in the background, and I got copyright claims, and I had to go and cut that section out of the video, because otherwise I wasn't going to get a penny for it, which, what's the point in doing it then? So yeah, there we are. Right, we're up to date with the messages there. I think that's all good. So if you want to come in on the live chat, join me and Gareth, you're more than welcome. You just need to send me an email, as Gareth did, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I send you an invite, you click on the invite, and you can come in live here. So if you want to come and talk bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, great bass players, anything to do with bass, that's what we're talking about here today. Live chat 84.
I'm just in the middle of learning Teach Your Children by Crosby, Stills and Nash, and the vocal harmonies in that are quite difficult, as well as playing bass.
All of their harmonies, they were one of those bands, you know. Eagles came after them, but Crosby, Stills, that was well, they were a vocal band. That's what they were built around. Their harmonies and stuff are really tight. Steely Dan stuff. It's that's as much work as learning any instrument for their stuff. So just it's practice and learning your part and keeping it in your head. And if you can split harmonies, that's what's going to work. Do you do a lot of BVs anyway?
Not before I was in this band, so
okay, it's a bit of a baptism by fire.
Yeah,
you'll get there. It's practice.
Jump in at the deep end and just get on with it.
You just tune your ears to it, and it's listening and practice and repetition, and eventually things become they fall into place. Your ear will instantly hear different harmonies. Oh, Gareth's gone there. Maybe he's going to put 50p in the meter. Maybe. We'll see if he comes back. Patrick Sweeney, maybe YouTube will bring in a fee, a bit like PRS for venues. Maybe they will. That might be a good idea. I can't see YouTube slaughtering. It'd be like a cull if they did the copyright thing. Puck27, hi, regards. Good to see you. I think you came on last week's live chat. Good to see you again. Welcome. Yeah, I don't think they would cull all those channels, because they would be basically cutting their own throat in terms of earnings. But I don't know. Oh no, not you. Okay, just that name looked familiar. But anyway, you're very welcome, Alf, wherever you are. Come on in. We're talking basses, bass guitars, anything to do with bass. But yeah, Patrick, I think as and when that happens, and no one knows when it's going to happen, I think there's going to be some seriously peed off people. But they've been warned enough. You know, I was very aware when I was looking to set this channel up. You were on a few weeks ago. Okay, good, cool. You play a Hayek. Cool, nice. Yeah, I was very, I did a lot of research before I started the channel because I thought I don't want to step on any of those toes. And back then there was mention, you know, about the whole copyright thing, and you're best off trying to avoid it. Don't create problems for yourself that could come back to haunt your channel further down the line. Now, a lot of people do the play along thing, and I've been asked many times, had so many emails and messages saying, oh, can you do some play alongs to, you know, popular songs? It's like, I just don't want to do that because I don't know which songs would instigate copyright strikes and copyright claims. You just don't know. There's no way of knowing until you do it. You could produce the video, try and upload, and it will run it through the copyright checker as it's going through. But even then, there's Gareth back. I'll add you back in. Even then,
sorry about that. I forgot to plug my laptop in.
It's all right, mate. No problem.
Rookie
No worries at all.
mistake.
I said you might be off to put 50p in the meter.
Yeah.
But yeah, lost my thread there. What were we talking about? The copyright thing. You just don't know what's going to come further down the line, and as I say, there's going to be a lot of people and some very big bass channels where they do a lot of play along stuff, a lot of use of clips where they don't own the copyright on the music, and if they get pulled up for that, they're going to find themselves having a serious decrease in their income. But that's for them to be aware of and to work accordingly. I could do the whole bass play along thing and I'd probably attract thousands more subscribers, but there's loads of channels doing it, and I just, after all the, you know, I've done 4 years on here, I don't want to see all of that, you know, get flushed down the toilet just for the sake of some copyright claims. It's just, it seems a bit pointless to me. I'd rather build a channel that's going to be here for 20 odd years or more until I, you know, croak and they put me in a box. So yeah, that's my view on it. But who's to know that YouTube will still be around in 20 years time? You don't know, do you? So we do our best and we carry on, try and do as much as we can. That's the way I see it. So yeah, that's all working. Good. Yes, sir. So what's on the shopping list? Christmas is coming. More strings, he says.
More strings, more picks. I'm sort of experimenting with picks, so just as many different ones as I can get at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I said the other week. It's like I've got in my pick box, it's in my gig bag. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, that one. I've got so many different ones in here, and then I've got another box in the garage which is just full of either picks that I've acquired over the years or that I've found on gigs. And you know, you can always do a gig on a Saturday at a gig venue, and the floor's going to be littered with picks on the Saturday from Friday the night before. So there's all sorts. I've got big stubbies, which days when I used to be in a Green Day tribute. And I've got the purple 1.14 Tortex, which are favorite. I've got the, I think they're 1 mil blue Tortex.
I'm quite liking the Dunlop Max Grip 1.1s at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't slip out your fingers that easily.
That's it. And then you got the 073s, which are the Bobby Vega, Mike Dirnt favorites. That's the bigger version there. Well, people sometimes play it and go, oh, it's a bit sort of thin, a bit lightweight. That's how they get their sound. That's the whole point. The stiffer the pick, the more you've kind of got to do in terms of flexing your wrist and sort of how you attack the string. With a thinner gauge pick, you don't. The pick does more of the flexing. That's the difference. And then I've got all sorts in it. I mean, we could be here all day, frankly. But I take a whole load of different ones. When I'm on Queen gigs, I'll stuff this thing in my back pocket. I'll have 2 stubbies, 2 blue 1 mils, and 2 purple 1.14s. We had this discussion about picks the other week. There are certain songs I use each pick for. So Under Pressure, I do with the blue. Anything that's a bit rock, I'll use the 1.14. And the stubby is your get out. That's basically if we're doing Hammer to Fall or One Vision or something. It's a bit Now I'm Here. Good example. I'll use the big stubby on, but I keep them all in my back pocket to the right. So if we're playing, got to the end of the song, preceding a song where I need a pick, I literally just put my hand in my back pocket and pull out 2 picks. Chances are I'm going to get one or the other. That's how I'll do it. Tricks of the trade. You don't want to make it seem obvious. You don't want to be looking around for picks, and
This
you don't
one's
want to
my
be.
workhorse.
Here we go.
So
yeah,
it's
very
a
nice.
Mexican Fender P bass with the hip shot on the back.
Oh, very good. Nice. Very nice. What year's that? Do you know?
2004 Mexican.
It was a very,
so it's 20 years old.
It was a very good year. I'm sure it sounds great. Excellent.
I've had it about 10 years. I paid $350 with the hard case.
That's all right. That's a good price. You've probably earned your money back on gigs, have you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I use most at gigs. I'm most comfortable with the Fender neck, whether it's a P or a Jazz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny.
Used...
All the different Fender Precisions I've got here, none of the necks are the same.
No.
Not even close. The FSR 70s one is thick. The Mike Dermot one's like a baseball bat. And the black one that I use for the Queen shows, that's the slimmest of the lot. And to be honest, you'd be hard pressed, apart from thinness at the nut. The rest of the neck feels like a jazz neck. It's great. Yeah. It's great. Puck 27. Do you have any problems with the push switches on your Fafner amp? No. My amp hasn't been used much yet. The switches are iffy. When did you buy your Fafner? So mine is one is a 2002, and the other one, I don't know the exact year because I bought it secondhand in 2011. But if you've bought a Fafner amp since then, it could be there was a bad run. I don't know. I don't know where you're based, but if you're in the UK, you need to speak to Hand in Hand Distribution down the West Country. If you're in a different country, speak to your local distributor for EBS gear, and they will either put you in touch with EBS directly, or they should have a repair facility at the distributors for dealing with these amps. The only problem is, as far as I'm aware, they don't make the Fafner amps anymore. They discontinued them a while back. They just do the reed miles now. But
if you be a dirty switch and needs a bit of contact,
might be a dirty switch. I've never had a problem with those push switches, but even from new, they never felt solid. They always felt a bit wobbly. They did the job, but to be honest, I always left both of them in anyway. So once they were in, first time of using them, that's it. They were in for the duration. You bought it 10 years ago from Bass Director in the Cotswolds. Okay. Yes, you need to get in touch with Hand in Hand. But I don't think... Let's think. Your amp hasn't been used much yet. The switches are iffy. It might just be that's the way they've always been. But they should release. I never had a problem with them. Having said that, it's not that I've retired them. I moved over to Aguilar gear in 2018. So these Fafners haven't been used since 2018. But yeah, Hand in Hand Distribution in the West Country are the people you want. In fact, let me find a link for you. Basically, if it's got to go back for repair or any sort of looking at, they send you a form, and They send you a form that you fill out, and then they'll tell you how much it's going to cost and everything else. Right, let's just copy that in for you. They're based, I think, down near Exeter, down that way. They might know my name. They probably don't. I've never even met them, other than a couple of emails. We've had no interaction. They never sent anything. Oh no, they sent me one thing for review at the magazine, which was a Billy Sheehan pedal. But other than that, I've had no interaction with them. So no point really mentioning me, but best of luck with that. It might just be some contact cleaner that might improve things.
If it's not used, it might just have a bit of dust on the connection or something.
Yeah, do you know what? I remember when I got my one brand new, and everything about the Fafner was fabulous, but I always thought those buttons were a little bit soft in terms of when you click them in, there's no sort of click. It's like a really soft sort of push button, but they are what they are, you know. But they're great amps. I couldn't fault it, apart from I had one thing, and it happened to both of them, and they develop a hum, like a really low hum, and there's a way to get rid of it, and they never told me what it was. So it went to one repair place. Then when the distribution moved over to Sound Technology, their guy managed to get rid of the hum, but it comes back. And it usually happens after you've blown a fuse. There's a fuse on the board. When that fuse is blown, there seems to be an inherent problem that never goes away. So just be aware of that. Maybe have a chat with them about it. They might know about it. I've got to get both of these amps down to them at some point to see if they can solve that issue. But again, problem is the amp's been discontinued for years, so they might go, none of our business. In which case, got to get in touch with the people at EBS. But I don't fancy sending a Fafner amp via post to Sweden. Rather you than me. But great amps, when they're working and they're firing, they sound great. And I used mine for 16 years, pretty much. And I always preferred it over the TD 650 and 660 by a long shot. That was my sound. The TD 650 was not my sound. The HD 350 was good. That was a really good amp, but the TD stuff, it was just a lot of top and bottom and no mid-range, and which is great if you work in a gospel band and you're slapping all day, but I don't, and I didn't. And the general sort of rock pop covers, it didn't have enough body. It was just a lot of boom and twang and nothing in between.
Don't think I've ever played through
Someone wants you. You're a popular man.
I don't think I've ever played through an EBS amp.
Oh, they're great. They're really good. They're really good. For a period, they were doing great guns here, but unfortunately, they just didn't take off enough, and they took way too long to address the neodymium Class D situation, by which time all the other big manufacturers had sort of stolen a head start on them. They were always playing catch up. If they'd come out with a Class D amp or neodymium cabs about 4 years before they did, they would have been in with a shout to be like one of the major amp manufacturers, but they just left it way too long. And I know Bernie Goodfellow was always banging his head against the door frame. Well, he'd do that anyway, but but he was always just like so frustrated that this is what all the customers were crying out for. They just didn't have that product. So unless you wanted a back-breaking cabinet or a big amp, you were a little bit not catered for, so to speak. Well, there we go. There we go. So who's your big bass idols, Gareth?
Sort of a lot of the modern sort of early punk stuff.
Okay, cool.
Big into like the Small Faces, the Who, the Jam.
Nice.
That's sort of what I grew up on, and then a lot of the Britpop stuff.
Yeah. Cool. There's plenty of good lines in there. There's plenty. I used to do. I played in a Britpop tribute band in about 1997 and 98, just sort of at the tail end of that. And there's some great songs in there. Really were some really good songs, really well crafted, arranged, really good stuff. But then as that whole thing died, all those bands that were doing like tributes and stuff to it died with it. Before you knew it, everything was electronic dance music and S Club 7, and it was like, oh, okay. All of that sort of work sort of dried up, but now it's all come back again. So, you know, great. But it's just 20 years too late. I could have done with that work sort of through the 2000s, really. But it's the same thing with these, you know, genre specific sort of tributes and cover bands, is that you have to wait a period of like 10 to 15 years for everyone to catch up. And then suddenly people go, oh, that's what we want. You know, that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to go out and see. And that's, again, that's why, you know, Oasis have timed their comeback to perfection. 15 years. There's a market that really wants to go and see that. So,
they split up 14 years. 300. It was literally one day short of 15 years after they formed, and then 14 years and to the day they announced the comeback.
It's uncanny. Someone planned that, I think.
Yeah.
Jamie Millard, I saw you pop up there. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Thank you for your attendance last week. It was much appreciated. Good job, fella. Well done. Hope you're having a good week over there in the US. Eating much curry, judging by your Facebook page. Yeah. Quite. So it is just coming up to 10:30 here in the UK. We'll probably go for another half an hour or so. I need to tell you what's coming up. So tomorrow will be the Wilcock H22 review video. So if you saw the demo last week and you've watched it, liked it, commented, shared it, fabulous. Thank you very much. We're going to do the review video tomorrow. So that takes sort of the playing demo footage, and I put my spin on it and my opinions on the bass and how it plays and construction and what I think it's good at and what I think it's bad at. And so that'll be a longer video. That'll be about a 12, 13-minute video. So I think the demo was about 8 minutes. So it'll be that with my view on it and all the technical spec. Everything will be on the screen. So if you've seen the more recent review videos, that's the format that's going to take. That'll be up, I think, probably late afternoon, early evening tomorrow. Then I've got the Flatley Poison Ivy Bass Fuzz. That's going up this week. And then there'll be a bunch of shorts. We'll get the weekend out of the way. And then next week, obviously, I've got the build up to the First Decades of Dance show on Saturday. I've got a Queen gig in Plymouth on the Friday night before, so it's going to be bedlam next week. But I'll try and have a couple of videos ready for next week. And obviously on next week's live chat, we'll go through my pedal board for the Decades of Dance show. So that will be ready, and I can take you through the board, what songs I'm using it for, what sounds I'm trying to replicate. And as I say, I'm going to try and film as much as I can of Sunday's rehearsal with all the lights and stuff going on. And I'll be able to show little nuggets of it here on the live chat next week. Jamie, the hotter the better. We're talking about curry, of course, not your pants. And thanks for having me on, lad. Pleasure. Anytime. You feel, you know the process now. You send me an email, I'll send you an invite, and on you come. That's the way it works. Easy. I hope you've had a good week. And so next week is going to be sort of organized bedlam here at Brooks Towers. So we'll see how it goes. It could be a week for the books, or it could be a complete unmitigated disaster. I can't say going to Plymouth the night before a fairly important first night show on the Saturday is my dream start, but it's the way it's got to be. So it's going to be, I won't be getting back home probably till about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's a good 5.5 hour drive back from where we're playing with Queen next week. So yeah, it's going to be entertaining. Jamie, lots of bass playing, new prototype Dingwall in Nashville this week. Which one? Because I know they've got some new models out. Which one are we talking about here? New prototype Dingwall. Got a picture? Oh, you can't share pictures, of course.
I've always liked the look of the Super P that the Dingwall did.
Yeah, there's a review actually on the channel. One of the very first review videos I did here. See if I can pull that up here.
I'm just not sure I like the idea of fan frets.
Mate, it's actually not even a consideration. And I've said to people before, too many people get hung up. If I've got the NG2 up there, too many people get hung up with looking at the front of the fingerboard where their fingers are. If you just look at where the fret ends are and put your fingers on the neck and play as you would normally play, that's it. It's not as scary as people make it out to be. Really, it's not. It's so we used to get a lot of Dingwall stuff for review at the mag, and I took to it like a duck to water because I thought, well, I don't see what the big deal is. And Sheldon Dingwall said, just look at where the fret ends are and play. He said, you don't need to look at the angle or the curvature. Your hand will naturally go where it needs to go. And he was right. That's exactly what happened. I can't see that popping up. Hold on. Dingwall Super P. Too much stuff going on in the background. So let's invert the list of videos. It's quite near. So it was it was called Blueberry, maybe. Where is it? Next page. So it's one of the first reviews I did here on the channel. There we go. It is go into the technical color right. Let's give it a proper big build up. Come on, too many adverts. I'm not here for the adverts. Thanks. Here we go. Right, technical spec. So like blueberry metallic gloss. That's what it is. So let me share that, copy that, go to StreamYard. Here we go. So that was my take on it. A really nice bass. Not entirely convinced it was worth the asking price, but you're getting all the Dingwall made in Canada goodness. So yeah, there is one with a black limber body. Right, and then there is the import mod. It's I bet the one you're talking about, Jamie, is the new import Super PJ. Yes, they're doing because they all used to be made in Canada. I think they're now made, or they're doing a run of them from the China factory. I think I could have that wrong, but I think I saw something online about that. But they're lovely to play. They really are. Yeah. That one. What are you talking about? That one. That, Jamie, was I reviewed that in 2020, so that's not a new one. That's 4 years old. But it played great, sounded great. Everything you'd want from a P, and all the bad points taken away, and the sound is better, the feel is better, a bit more comfort. Solidly built, really good. Loved it. But again, I think it was around $3,000 or so. And I just thought that's a bit steep for a P bass. But yeah. Russell, I like to practice with a mirror, not because I'm vain. We've all done it, Russell. But because it lets me see my hands, but I get to keep my head up, keeping better ergonomics. Done that as well, many a time. Training myself so that my natural state is looking ahead, not at fingers. Correct. Although I say that, and even now on gigs, and I've been playing 37 years, some nights you just lock in, and you're not really bothered about what's going on stage or anything, and you're just enjoying the playing, and you will just naturally go, oh, lovely.
Film your rehearsals on your phone as well, and that way you can listen back to them.
That's it. Yeah, do that often. do that often. And in actual fact, very often when I dep for bands, I'll record using my MP3 player with an external mic. So I've always got a record of the gig in case there was a problem. But also, if I get asked back to do gigs again and they haven't provided me with a live recording, I've got one. So I know all the ins and outs of that band's arrangements. And then just I leave it on the hard drive, and crikey, on my hard drive, I've got stuff that I did. Let's see, I got the MP3 player in 2004. So there are gig recordings of various bands I've dealt with going back 20 years. I could scare them if I sent them the file. But let's see. Jamie, sing and play. You can't look at your fingers then. Well, no, that's true. Oh, I say that sometimes. I do. I can sing and stand up and look at my fingers, but no, to be honest, when I'm doing BVs, especially now with the in-ears, I'm concentrating, because if anything goes with the ears, and actually on Friday's gig, again, the cable came out of my right earbud. So I had nothing going in that ear, but loads in the left, and there's no online backline. So I've got to concentrate. So very often, like if we're doing Earth, Wind and Fire, when we do that, it's like nearly a 10-minute medley. I've got to concentrate on the playing and the singing at the same time. It's hard, but thankfully we've done it enough that it's good. So it's all cool.
I learn both parts separate so that I know them inside out, and then put them together. Yeah,
I'll always learn the bass part first, because invariably, like with Earth, Wind and Fire, I know those songs. I've heard them all my life. I know what the vocals are doing, but I need to be able to make sure that the bass part is on autopilot before I even begin to start working out harmonies. But because I'm a bass player, I always find I automatically will go to a falsetto harmony, and I've got to find one that is bomb-proof, that I'm not going to deviate from and I'm not going to get lost from, and drop any of the bass line. So once I find my harmony that works in a group of singers, I lock that in, and my bass part's already happening. So sometimes when people see us do that Earth, Wind and Fire medley, they'll go, "How do you sing and play Boogie Wonderland?" I didn't find it hard. The bass line is just very repetitive, but the vocal part for me, I just found where my frequency was, and that's my harmony, and that's what I'm sticking to. And like you say, learn one, get that to go on autopilot, then you can learn the other thing. And they should, in theory, you should be able to glue them together. Sometimes you can't. If a vocal rhythm is so completely opposite to what your bass line rhythm is, it's very hard to get them to sort of be
Rebel by Bowie is one of them.
Yeah. But it's just a practice thing. It's a practice thing. And eventually, something between there and there, it's like a key in a lock, and suddenly, oh, okay, right, well, now I can do it. And again, then it's just repetition of it, and it becomes sort of second nature. Let's have a look here. Russell, but what do I do? Half the band loves my vocals and the other half keeps asking me to stop singing. It's a conundrum. Okay, well, only you can solve that one, Russell. John Cooper, got to go soon, but a numpty question. That's okay. Before I do, is the body of a 5-string bass proportionately larger than an equivalent 4? No. Obviously, the neck is wider, but our body size is the same. Generally, yes. Depends what brand of bass, what the model is. But my GB Rumors are pretty much the same. Stingrays are about the same. What other 5s have I got? I've got that. Lakeland are the same. So no, it's really just neck dimensions. Usually it'll be broadness, not necessarily the profile. But a 4-string Stingray neck is very different to a 5-string Stingray neck. The 4 is more bulbous in profile. The 5 is slimmer, but you've got a tighter string spacing. So that would be the difference. But no, you shouldn't find that the bodies are bigger. Not generally. All that happens is they cut a wider neck pocket. Manfred, another future episode could be about essential repertoire to play live. I can do that. Russell, that's actually a legit question that happens at jams. Someone will say, stop singing, and another person will tell me to keep going. Okay. You need a poking stick for those people being rude, so you can poke them when they say these things. Jamie, might check your email for a picky. Excellent. I'll do that. The Dingwalls. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that firing up. Ah, here we go. I can share this with you all. Of course, I can share my screen. We want there. So there we go. Hope you can see that. Right. There we are. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Nice, nice, nice. When was that? Was that a couple of weeks ago? I need to come back to there. Was that a couple of weeks ago, Jamie? 5 strings have bigger bodies generally. Do they? Not for the basses I've got. Russell, then the evil looks start between them and I feel awkward. Well, if it's just a case of practice, Russell, that's down to you doing a bit more practice. But if they're hearing something else, leave them to it. Manfred, relaxing exercises before, during, and after a gig for future episodes. I will go back through this video tomorrow and I will make notes. Don't worry about that. Russell, I have a sturdy gig bag that holds 2 instruments and I just always take 2 with me. If most songs don't use the 5 string, it can go for the couple that do. That's fine. I used to do a lot of jams. Work had noon Thursday jams even. Someone would reserve a conference room at the edge of campus and we tear it up for an hour. Well, there you go.
Get out and play. The hip shot route rather than going down the 5 string route.
Okay, yeah, that's all valid. I mean,
lower than a D.
Very often I'll use an octave pedal if it's just like one song with a low, low D or a low C or a C sharp or a B. I'll use an octave if I can. But if it's consistently throughout a band set that there's a lot of low stuff, then yeah, I'll use a 5 on that. Jamie, that was this past Sunday. Good. How was Sheldon? Hope he was in fine form. I haven't seen him for 3 years. Last time he was here in London in 2020. Well, he's here in London often, but last time I saw him was 2021 December. We went out for lunch and coffee in Earl's Court. Bless him. Hope he's well. I haven't heard from him in quite a long time, but he's.
Have you ever played a 5 with a high C instead of the low B?
I have. Yeah, we had a couple for review actually. It's good if you want to do melodic stuff and you're improvising, or you want to do chordal stuff. It makes a nice change, and obviously it doesn't throw you out in terms of your low notes where a lot of your playing is going to be. You're not going to make those errors in playing the low E string or playing the low B string thinking it's an E, but you then have to make sure that you assess your playing to accommodate that high C, because if you suddenly think that's the G, it's not. So when slapping, you suddenly have to it's like flipping your head, flipping your brain from playing a low B on a 5 to playing a high C. But it can be good. They can sound good. The only problem as a bass player is it can start to move into the frequencies of 6-string guitar. So you just need to sort of use your judgment wisely on that. Let's see. Russell's on there. Yeah, we've done that. Russell's. So sometimes one of those people would be a manager at work, so it was easy to know who to listen to in that case. Okay. Jamie, Sheldon was doing well. Excellent. Sheldon was ill about 5-6 years ago. So I'm glad he's doing good. I actually owe him I think a strawberry tart and a hot chocolate when I see him next. But yeah, John Cooper, thanks. Good night, Mike, and all. Looking forward to the pedal board beast review next time. That pic you shared of it a while back still gives me shivers. I actually did find the picture after last week. I was trying to show Jamie on the live chat. I did track it down. And yes, it is a beast. But like I said, I think there's going to be 4 or 5 pedals coming off it. So it won't be quite as full on as it appeared. Russell, I never had to deal with it in a professional capacity, though, other than incidentally like the work jam. Well, like I say, if your singing is out of tune, it's only a practice thing. You can learn to sing in tune. It is just practice, really. Nothing more than that. You learn it. You learn how to phrase. You learn where to put your lines. You know, you learn how to sing while playing bass. Get your head around it and the different frequencies where you need to put your voice so it's not mucking around with your head in terms of the bass line. That's what I do. But as Steve Overland said to me, if you want to learn to sing backing vocals and you want to learn to sing harmonies, buy the Eagles back catalogue. Everything you need is there. You don't need anything else. That is how you sing backing vocals and how you mesh harmonies. And once you've got that, you can then take it anywhere you want. It's fine. You can do anything with it. But that will give you the building blocks on how to harmonize in a band. And he was right. Wasn't right about many other things, but he was right about Russell. For reference, I was actually in a competitive barbershop quartet when I was in high school and a member of the Salem Senate area's 200 member ensemble. I'm good enough even on my bad days. Cool. It just sounds like a couple of people being arsey then. I can sing both bass and baritone and have a decent falsetto. Well, there you go then. I think you got the tools there. You just need to put them into use. That's the way I see that. Right, let's get this there. There we go. So yeah. Here we are. Right, we can close that. It's all good. Thank you for the picture, Jamie. By the way, I did find my list for the Mark King bass video that I'm going to be doing. It's quite a list. I've forgotten there were that many. I think it's close to 62.
Left your emails on screen.
So, yeah, I'll take that off. Don't worry. There's not a lot of worth looking at in there, I can assure you. There'll be like tomorrow's food shopping and tire offers. There'll be a few of those.
Yeah. I've just been through that. The car's just gone through its MOT.
That's it. Very. Hold on. Let's have a look here. I think it's there. There we go. So I found that list. It's sizable. I'm not going to read them all out. It's huge. But yeah, so we start off with a Shergold modulator, which also came under the Heyman brand, which was used in the early tapes. We then got JD 1 and 2, JD Starchild, JD 8-string, Pangborn Warlords, of which there were 2, various status model series 2s, Zon with a Kayla. Then we're talking Pearl Pink JD, Pearl Blue JD, before he moves on to an Alembic Distillate, then an Alembic Series 1, which now belongs to John Randall. You've then got Series 2 Alembics in Cocobolo and Maple long scales. You've then got Series 2 Alembics in Cocobolo and Maple medium scales. That takes us up to 1996. He then has a Warwick Thumb and a Warwick Fortress. Sorry, I'm talking crap. The Series 2 Alembics take us up to 88. There's then a Warwick Thumb, which is 88. The Warwick Fortress is 96. We've then got the Red Status 2000, a Blue Status 2000. We then got the Music Man Stingray 5 and 4. We've got the Moon Jazz Fretless, a Wow MIDI bass. We've got the Status Matrix in black, used at Hammersmith in 1990. We've then got a Status Matrix with a Cocobolo top, which belonged to Alex Carter, now belongs to Morgan Roussel. We've then got 1, 2, 3, 4 Empathy 4 strings and an Empathy 5. He's then got a Seafoam Green T bass. We've then got the Fender basses for one man. So at that point, we're at 98. We've got the Fender Jazz Deluxe. We're then into GBs, 2 Spitfires and a Rumor. Then into Status King bass. That list is huge. So aside from the prototypes, So get the prototypes out of the way, of which I think there were 5. You've then got the King Bass in rosewood, the King Bass Artist in maple, a King Bass Princess, a Black Beauty, a Retroglide, King Bass 2, of which there are 2, the 30th anniversary King Bass. Then we're into Paramatrix. So there's a graphite, a red, several mirror finishes, a couple of flip finishes, the Paramatrix 6-string, which I've had in my hands. Then he bought a Fender Jazz, 71 Fender Jazz, a Gibson EB3. He then went on to the Graphite Neck Status T basses in blue, red, and orange burst. We're then up to 2021, and he was given a brand spanking new 2021 red JD Series 1. And then in 2023, last year, he was given the walnut topped JD. It's a fairly sizable list, I think you'll agree. It's huge.
I did send you a clip the other day. Tony Iommi. His
yes.
SD was made by JD.
Yes, yeah. He was one of the flag wavers very early on. He kind of put JD on the map before Mark and George Anderson came along. Yeah, great bases. Although they
played one.
They're different. They're very mid-biased. They have a very throaty delivery, but they kind of bubble along really nicely. So yeah. I mean, if you see one, try one. You'll see what I mean. Lots of people pick them up and expect them to be really bassy, but they're not. That's not what they are. They're kind of like Alembics in that respect, although they don't use a filter system. They've got a 3-band EQ. They're not full of bottom end. It's not like that. There's it's kind of a bit smoother, but it bubbles. The bottom end bubbles along. There's like a real mid-range presence, but again, you can alter that to a degree if you choose different timbers and what have you. But all the JDs I've ever played have had that sort of mid-range grunt to them, and which makes all the slapping and popping stand out. But very often, if you're slapping on a JD, you're going to turn the mid-range EQ either flat or down. You're not going to boost any of it. But they're great. They're really good. They are what they are. You know, there aren't too many basses that have that character. Russell, it's not a question of ability. It's a question of conflict resolution, and I'm not good at it. I'll just sing louder. Okay. Peacemaking is also a goal, since I'm aware I have almost no tact. Okay. Wow, someone's a busy guy. Man, I'm bored. Physical recovery is maddeningly boring. Thanks for the company, guys. I got to hit it. No problem. Okay, take care, Russell. We'll see you soon. Do you mean you're hitting it in terms of not being bored? Right. Okay. It's a lot of work. Everyone stay healthy. We'll do. We'll try. Yeah. It is coming up to 5 to 11 here. Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat 84 live chats. My goodness. Thank you everyone for attending tonight, getting involved. Lovely Gareth, of course, looking handsome on screen. So we're going to be back here next week, same time, same place. I'm not winding this down yet. I'm just preambling as we get towards 11 o'clock.
I'll show one more quirky bass that I've got.
You do
call it a bass.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
So it is a Harley Benton U bass.
Okay.
So it's the equivalent of like a Carly U bass, but Harley Benton version.
What strings on that? They look big.
They're just the standard ones that came with it. The like
rubber.
The like rubber. The gut wound rubber type things.
Okay. If they are rubber strings like used to be on the Ashbury basses,
yeah,
I don't
exactly
know
the same.
Remember. Okay. They used to advise rubbing talcum powder to make them smooth so they don't stick.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. Good man. Use some nice smelling stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
It's rubber. Doesn't smell nice when it gets sweaty. Okay. Yeah, cool. Oh, well, that'll sound great. That'll sound really
Sounds
good.
like an upright.
Yeah, that was the thing. The old Ashbury basses, they were small, but they were a bit novel, and they haven't held their value well. But they were like really sort of diminutive size wise, but they had a sound. They were kind of like the precursor to the sort of U bass kind of thing. The Kayla.
Yeah, this is just Harley Benton's take on that. It cost me 150
cool.
quid new.
There you go.
Because I didn't want to sort of fork out quite a lot of money for something that I might not use.
No, quite. Absolutely. Understandable. But well, I guessing from the basses you've shown me, you like sort of a fat, sort of plummy tone. You're not not a bass exotica slappy tappy kind of guy. Really. And that's all right.
I can do it, but it's not something that I do.
It's not something you have to do. No, cool. That's all good.
I'm more into your sort of punchy, sort of Bruce Foxton type tone.
Is a Rickenbacker coming your way at some point, perhaps?
I've never found one that I get on with. Love them, like a look of them, but just never found one that I like to play.
Yeah.
Same with the Gibson Thunderbirds. I've never found one of them that I like playing.
Oh, yes, that'll take your back out. You get a heavy one of those, and they've never addressed it. They've never managed to sort that out. I did a review of one in, I think 2006. It was like the latest version of the Thunderbird, and it still weighed a ton, and it's still just, it's just like, just get it sorted out. But they've never addressed it. As soon as you put it on, take your hands away, the thing just flips. Can't be doing with all that.
Yeah, I was looking at the Epiphone Grabber that's just come out, but I don't fancy paying 1,200 quid for an Epiphone. It's bonkers.
Give it about 12 months and they'll come down in price. And also you'll start seeing the second-hand ones starting to appear, because people will go out and buy them now and then realize it's not the bass they want, and suddenly the market gets flooded. Or I've seen it so many times with new basses. Everyone wants one. Everyone gets it. And then like a year later, suddenly there's something else. And they go, oh, well, actually, I didn't want that. And you'll probably find you get one for about 800, 900 quid.
Yeah.
Just bide your time. Just keep the money to one side. And when it comes up, there you go. Happy shopping. So let's see. Where are we here? Okay, that's all good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. And that one's good too. That's all good. Stream health is healthy. Good. Okay. Right. We're approaching 11 o'clock. I'm going to wind this down. Let you all get off to bed. Do your thing. Have a happy Tuesday. Gareth, it's been a pleasure. Lovely to have you on chat.
Yeah.
We'll see you again.
Likewise. See you
Take
soon.
care, man. Have a good weekend. Take it easy. Cheers, man. Bye. Bye-bye. And that was Gareth, all the way from Manchester, here in the UK. Thank you very much for getting involved, mate. Been an absolute pleasure having you on. So as I say, we'll be here next Tuesday from 8 o'clock. We'll be going through the pedal board because I'll have done the dress rehearsal by then. So that's good. So if you've been on the live chat tonight, thank you very much for your interaction. Russell Zorner, hope you have a good week. Thanks for sharing your musical tales with us. That's great. Jamie Millard, thank you for coming back on. Stacey Ann, good to see you. Patrick, of course. John Cooper, just scrolling through who's been on. Manfred, enjoy that sunshine where you are, young man. And all the others who've been on, thank you very much. It's been an absolute blast this evening. Thank you for keeping the live chat sort of ticking over. Fabulous stuff. So we'll be back next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. I'll have the pedal board ready, up and running. So video up tomorrow will be the Wilcock H22 review video. So we did the demo, was up last week. Had a bunch of shorts up on YouTube Shorts. Review video tomorrow. There'll be some reels going up of that bass on Instagram and probably Facebook. And I'm sure I post reels some. Oh, TikTok, of course. How could I forget TikTok? Right. So that video and shorts and reels will be going up. Possibly the Flatley Poison Ivy before the weekend. Just got to see. I've got to do some practice and get my pedals ready for the dress rehearsal on Sunday. And then once we get into next week, it will be reviews, demos, interviews. And as I go through this and edit this live chat tomorrow, I will take all of your suggestions for things you'd like to see here on the channel. I'll make a list and we'll start formatting some of that to do some after Christmas. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to wish you a fabulous week. Enjoy your bass playing. If you're out gigging, have a great time. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Same time, same place for another live chat 85. Goodness. So on that note, have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, wherever you are on the planet. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy.